Caleb's supposed to be up here working. He's watching independent wrestling shows on the laptop.
Well, Donovan's been
He's
down
up
here
here
hustling.
trying to watch the best Canadian destroyers in. Yeah, so I'm scrolling through my For You page on TikTok the other day, and there's an independent wrestling show. This wrestler's like 600 pounds, and so I'm watching. I'm like, man, look at this high school gym, like third-rate wrestling, and right there in the front row is him reacting to everything more than the referee, like just selling. Welcome to our ETC Game of the Week. Jeremy Green alongside Caleb Frady. Our broadcast colleague Donna Enos will be with us shortly, and it is a big game feel here tonight at Huff Mosley Memorial Stadium because this is region play, and this is what matters.
It's region play. Gilmer off to a really good start at 3-1, bring in a Wesleyan team that's got a history of really good success in the single A private ranks, and now coming up to Gilmer's weight class, and going to be a really good matchup here.
Yeah. So you mentioned that history. There's a lot of it there. They have a state championship under their belt, played for it in 2019, so you're talking about pretty recently, lost there to Eagles Landing Christian. But this is a program that has been one of the elite private school programs throughout the state, and so that rich pedigree is sort of intimidating when you look at the history of the program.
It can be. I mean, you have a school from the metro Atlanta area coming up to the mountains, a private school. It's got resources that obviously, Gilmer doesn't have, and I think that's a fair statement to say. So you kind of are curious what you're going to get here, but you look at records, and, of course, non-region records don't necessarily matter a whole lot, but if you're Gilmer, you feel like you're going to match up tonight.
Yeah, so Wesleyan, as we mentioned, jumping up to AAA, you talk about the difference there, and if you want to blame somebody for that, it's GHSA, the new multiplier that was put in place last year, and so they jump up a much smaller school, but you and I were watching them warm up. There's some athletes out there.
They've got some athletes. They've got some size, got some speed. I'm curious to watch these athletes really get on the field tonight. Coach-wise, they're going to have a ton of resources. So, Gilmer's going to certainly have a good matchup here tonight.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Wesleyan comes in at 1-3, as we mentioned. Gilmer coming in at 3-1. They were off last week. The week before certainly didn't go the way they hoped when they ran up to Ringgold.
Absolutely, and that's a Ringgold squad that's had some really good programs the last couple of seasons. It lost a lot from graduation, not really sure what you're going to get. If you're Gilmer, you think that's a winnable game, and Gilmer really did not play well at all. Just a little over 100 yards of offense on the night, less than 100 yards rushing. It's a Gilmer squad that kind of maybe got its attention a little bit. The bye week came at a really good time as well, so really curious to see how Gilmer responds tonight.
Yeah, you love Paul Standard's response to that. He took the blame for everything. He said, we were not ready, for this big game, and I take responsibility for that. My hunch is he has them ready for this one. I don't know. We'll see.
I think so. And in his defense, this Gilmer program hadn't played in a lot of big games lately. So it's a learning experience for those kids to understand how to respond when you got a little bit of success into your back.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on here. As we mentioned, big game atmosphere. Wesleyan has brought their marching band up from Peachtree Corners. We're going to have a lot of excitement. And once again, this is for all the marbles, essentially. This is the first game in your region slate. And so after this, we'll be looking at playoff pictures and all those things. So a lot of excitement here tonight. We're going to step away for just a minute. When we come back, we'll talk with Donna Enos. We'll talk about what's going on with Copper Base and with Fannin, with Pickens, and then we'll get you ready for kickoff here. We're live on ETC.
When other dealers are hitting the brakes, Bill Hope Blue Ridge is stomping the gas with our biggest selection of the year. We've got over 400 vehicles in stock and North Georgia's biggest truck inventory. Head back to school in a new Chevrolet with our lowest payments of the year. Drive a new Chevrolet for just $199 a month. That's only $199 a month at Bill Hope. And we've never paid more for trades. And we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from us. When it comes to North Georgia's largest selection of new trucks and pre-owned vehicles, there's only one name you need to know: Bill Hope Blue Ridge.
ETC knows the internet is evolving, taking new twists and turns. As we add our input, make our choices, and follow the light that connects us all. It's quite a journey, one to experience with the fastest speeds available. Contact ETC. Connect to the internet speed that suits your journey and enjoy the ride.
United Country Talking Rock Realty says it best. I'm happy as long as I can see Sharp Top. From the ground up, new home to complete renovation or remodel, we have combined the amazing workmanship of SGC Groups, transforming the forgotten to the fabulous. Teamwork makes the dream work. For buying, selling, or flipping, call Sherry Martin at 404-375-0590 or Evelyn Calhoun at 770-733-0779.
Luttrell's Hardware in Copper Hill, Tennessee is your one-stop do-it-yourself shop. We stock everything from fasteners, electrical and plumbing parts, power tools, animal feed, and so much more. Save yourself a trip or two into town and come see us at Luttrell's Hardware on Highway 68 in Copper Hill, next to Runway Fireworks. Or give us a call at 423-548-3300.
You're guaranteed prompt, reliable service with every job when you hire the original plumber. We believe in traditional values like integrity, honesty, and hard work. We offer transparent, upfront pricing, and our techs will take the time to educate you about your options. We have years of experience handling all types of plumbing work. From tankless water heaters to digging sewer lines, we can handle all of your residential or commercial needs. The original plumber is here to help you with your plumbing, septic, and HVAC needs.
Since 1994, North Georgia has called on Appalachian Propane for all its propane needs. Why propane? It's extremely affordable, efficient, and most of all, clean burning. Go green and think clean with propane. Our exceptional customer service and affordable rate has made us the best choice for residential, business, and farms throughout North Georgia. So the next time you think propane, think Appalachian Propane, a division of the Thomas Oil Company since 1960. Remember, go green and think clean with Appalachian Propane.
I said, come on, darling, take me downtown, because I want to see some of that country Blue Ridge, Georgia. Here we go!
Work hard. Play hard. Hit hard. Win hard. Your only connection to high school sports. Tune in Fridays at 7 p.m. to catch the action on the gridiron, only on ETC3.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch, authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
When other dealers are hitting the brakes, Bill Holt Blue Ridge is stomping the gas with our biggest selection of the year. We've got over 400 vehicles in stock and North Georgia's biggest truck inventory. Head back to school in a new Chevrolet with our lowest payments of the year. Drive a new Chevrolet for just $199 a month. That's only $199 a month at Bill Holt. And we've never paid more for trades. And we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from us. When it comes to North Georgia's largest selection of new trucks and pre-owned vehicles, there's only one name you need to know: Bill Holt Blue Ridge.
Welcome back to our ETC Countdown to Kickoff. Jeremy Green with Caleb Frady, and we're going to go down to the third member of our crew tonight, Donna Enos. And, Coach, it's a little bit better down on the field than it was the last time you were down there when you were in a torrential downpour. It's about 70 degrees here tonight, and fall is in the air, and you've got the best seat in the house.
It is perfect tonight. Perfect weather.
So let's talk a little bit with all three of us here about what's going on in our area before we come back to this game. So Copper Basin off to a rough start, 0-4. We're going to be there in October. Fannin, though, has seemed to turn their season around. We saw them here really get bushwhacked at Gilmer. But, Coach, you and I were there last week, and now at 2-2, heading to region play, Fannin feels really good about themselves.
Boy, they looked really good last week. They were strong, just offensively, defensively. They looked great.
Yeah, they are, according to the Maxwell ratings, a 41-point favorite on the road at Gordon Central. Caleb, I like those odds for Fannin.
I would feel comfortable with that if you were Fannin.
Yeah. So let's go down the road south of here to Pickens, an 0-3 start. And, Coach, you know, you're heavily involved down there in the community. There was a lot of worry, but last week they pick up their first win, and they feel sort of optimistic as they head over to Lumpkin tonight.
That was a big win last week, homecoming, and just, get that first win under your belt. That's really good. I think, Caleb, didn't you call that game?
I did, yeah. Very odd setup in that homecoming, and it was the first home game of the season. Pickens had been on the road to open the season. A much-needed win, I think, for the Dragons. And like we've talked about earlier with Gilmer, you wipe the slate clean now. It's region play. You get to go to Lumpkin, who's been really surprising here so far this season. So you're really going to find out quickly what you got.
Yeah, Lumpkin, one of those teams we don't really know about either. Like Gilmer, they started off strong, but you get your first test with Pickens tonight. We'll sort of see what happens. And, Coach, you can sort of tell us, what's the atmosphere been like in Jasper this week as they prepare for that big game?
Well, it's been fall break, so that just always causes disruption for everybody when it's fall break. And but they've had a lot of time, to kind of get everything together, getting ready for this first region game.
Yeah, so looking forward. We'll try to keep you updated on that. But our attention focused here. Gilmer comes in, as we mentioned, just completely sort of, for lack of a better term, laid an egg on the road at Ringgold. But you sort of refocus here on a Wesleyan team that struggled at 1-3, and you sort of put all your chips in the table because moving forward, every game counts.
Absolutely. The region basically the season has restarted at this point. 3-1's great, but it's going to do you no good if Gilmer's going to try to wiggle its way into the playoffs and slide into that 4 spot, maybe that 3. These games now really matter, and that bye week comes probably at a good time to kind of reset. 3-1, you kind of know what you got offensively. You can tune and prepare for the games that really matter.
Yeah, and we're sitting here talking about 3-1 like it's disappointing. They would have thrown babies in the air for 3-1 over the last few years here, and so certainly this is a program that has rebuilt itself and is on the move. Coach, you're down there on the field. We were, down there earlier. There's definitely sort of that big game feel here tonight, but almost a little tension too, because now you realize this is the time of the year where it really gets serious.
It really is, and it's just interesting. 3 wins the last 2 years, and so they've matched their wins. And tonight, it kind of gets them over that hump to get that 4th win, and plus a region game. And when you look at everything, they're averaging almost 30 points a game. I just think the Bobcats are going to have a great night tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And so here's the part where I put you guys on the spot, and Coach, we'll start down there with you on the field. So when you look at the Maxwell ratings coming out of Atlanta, they say that this is a pick 'em. There's no difference when they compute the data between these two teams. Gilmer's playing at home. Wesleyan is traveling to a new place they've never been before. What do you expect to see here tonight?
Well, I think that Wesleyan is going to step into something they're really not used to, because this is a whole different world here than what they have played. And I think we're going to have a big welcome to this region, and the Bobcats are going to handle them well tonight.
Yeah, we hope so. We've expected a lot of close games lately, Caleb, and what we've gotten has been some blowouts. We expected Fannin and Pickens to be a close one. Fannin runs away with that one. Fannin dominates Murphy last week. This game, though, it just doesn't feel like we're going to get that.
It feels a little bit more evenly matched. I think Gilmer may be the better overall team. But, when you're a mountain school, you've got some size limitations. Physically on the field, Wesleyan's got some athletes. So I'm really curious how Gilmer's going to try to keep that in check defensively. Offensively, exactly what they're going to do, keep the ball away from Wesleyan. Worked really well in the Fannin game. So if you can stay ahead of the chain, stay on schedule offensively, Gilmer might be a sporty pick.
Yeah, and Gilmer as well. We saw a lot of chunk plays in that Fannin game where you didn't expect that. And so they get that tonight. They'll be in good shape. We're just about ready for the kick here. We're going to step aside for 30 seconds, and when we get back, we'll have the kick for you live right here on ETC.
ETC knows the internet is evolving, taking new twists and turns. As we add our input, make our choices, and follow the light that connects us all. It's quite a journey, one to experience with the fastest speeds available. Contact ETC. Connect to the internet speed that suits your journey. And enjoy the ride.
United Country Talking Rock Realty says it best. I'm happy as long as I can see Sharp Top. From the ground up, new home to complete renovation or remodel, we have combined the amazing workmanship of SGC Groups, transforming the forgotten to the fabulous. Teamwork makes the dream work. For buying, selling, or flipping, call Sherry Martin at 404-375-0590 or Evelyn Calhoun at 770-733-0779.
Luttrell's Hardware in Copper Hill, Tennessee is your one.
We are just about ready for the kick here from Huff Mosley Memorial Stadium, and as we are here as the sun is setting, and I'm not sure exactly what the field temperature is, a little under 70 degrees. High was about 75 here in LJ today, and it is a beautiful atmosphere. The Wesleyan team has made their way onto the field. Bobcats will be coming out in just a minute. It is Park and Rec night here in Huff Mosley Memorial Stadium. You see the band out there, cheerleaders, full spectacle here tonight.
You know, when you talk about the playoff field, Donna was talking about, perfect weather. It turns region play. When it starts to get a little cool, that's when you know it's real serious football time, and going to get down almost into the 50, going to be almost 50 degrees later tonight. So going to be a good evening for football.
Bobcats are on the field. You see them run out with those American flags, also holding up the big Bobcat claw, and just about ready to go here. We like to say all the names when we're here. It is Pettit Field inside Huff Mosley Memorial Stadium in the shadows of the Gudger Sluter Fieldhouse. And so, Caleb, as an alum, you know what all those names mean.
Oh,
and
yeah.
folks watching at home do as well. And we just love this atmosphere. By the way, before we get started with the game, we want to continue to remember the family of Danny Hensley. For the rest of this season, it will be the Danny Hensley Game of the Week in honor of our good friend who passed away a couple of weeks ago after a long battle with cancer. So continue to remember that family in your thoughts and prayers. And we are looking forward to a good one with his name attached to it tonight. Band putting on a show out there. Referees are gathered at midfield.
Park and Rec night. It looks like move-up night as well. 8th graders in the band program joining the high schoolers out there. So always brings a big crowd out to the stadium and with folks here to watch. And they're going to be treated to a good one tonight.
Coach, you're down there in the mass of humanity. It's an exciting atmosphere. The little guys out there, and just an aura of excitement and anticipation, I think.
Man, it is great to see these little kids down here. You just puts a smile on your face to see what the future's going to bring, and it's really exciting for Park and Rec night.
Yeah, you've got the whole crowd cycling in behind you, so looking forward to that. Gilmer is going to be kicking off to start the game. We have seen some shenanigans so far on special teams, so we'll see how that plays out. And looks like Wesleyan might be expecting that if you check out the formation to start the game off.
Yeah, I got a bunch of guys up near the line of scrimmage. 7 there at the 50-yard line. Now that back row will fan back a little bit and get into a little bit more of a traditional look, but I still wouldn't run anything past Gilmer here.
Yeah, the chess games beginning early. And, of course, Coach Paul Standard, being a Gwinnett County guy, very familiar with this Wesleyan program, so we know that the coaching staff knows each other. Franklin Pridgeon, as we mentioned, has been here since the 90s. Kick is up. It's going to be a sky kick and taken at about the 20-yard line and out to about the 29. That's where Wesleyan will begin. The Wolves, as we mentioned, come in at 1-3. Won their opener on a 3-game losing streak currently, but some tough competition down there in the Atlanta area to start the year.
Yeah, a ton of really good programs, public and private ranks. Wesleyan's moved around the state a little bit to play different schools here in the private ranks to get this non-region portion of the schedule underway, and at 1-3 looking to get the region play off to a good start tonight.
So 3 wide receivers in the set, back in the backfield. Trying to get everything settled up. A little wildcat look to open things, and that ball nearly came out, stacked up. After about a 5-yard gain, that was Towns Hardy, the junior wide receiver, starting it off.
Good little run there to just get good penetration, get rid of the eye candy, and once the ball carrier got the ball, good push by that offensive line. Like you said, nearly had that thing taken away, and really good push there on first down.
So it'll be second down and about 4 after the 6-yard gain, and it'll be another quarterback run. He's out past the first down marker, and Will Kiker saves a huge play, and it'll be into Gilmer territory here on this first drive for Wesleyan.
Yeah, really good push there on second down. Little play action there, and quarterback kept it, goes up the middle, and one Gilmer defender got a hand on him and slowed him down for a moment, but he had cleared the first down boundary by that point, and just this offensive line really getting a good push here on the first couple of plays.
So now a change at the quarterback. Ben Brown, the actual quarterback, is there, it looks like. So after that little wildcat set up to start, they will throw it with Brown, and he's going to throw that one out of bounds. So Brown is a sophomore. Got a good frame as you look at him there.
Yeah, good size, good build. Showing off a little bit of arm there, just getting rid of that ball. Good defense there by Gilmer in the secondary to have everything bottled up, not give him a look. Go wise play there for the quarterback, too. Just get rid of the ball, second down. They've not had a problem moving the ball on the ground, so the toolbox still open here.
Brown listed at 6'1", 160, so a slight frame. Looks like he might have gained an inch or a pound since this roster was put out. Going to hand it off, and brought down in the backfield is the tailback, and a late flag comes in. I'm not sure. That flag was right on the sideline. So it will be a false start. It was called. Man, that came in very late, Caleb.
Very late. I mean, they had ran the play by that point, then just dropped the flag there in front of the Gilmer bench. Coach Standard right there in the official's ear, so that might have maybe played a role in that flag there, alerting him to something to be looked for. It was a good stop there by the defense.
So it will be third down here. So looks like maybe they declined that penalty.
Not a bad call there. You get the incompletion on first and the stop for no gain on second.
Brown looking for a receiver. He's got a man, and it is picked off. Oh, and dropped. Incomplete. Hunter Watkins had it in his hands and not able to haul it in.
Boy, that's one you might want back if you're Gilmer. That's a tough break. Good stop defensively, though. Wesleyan's going to have to punt, but boy, nothing, it just comes right to you, and you drop it there wide open for the interception, and had a little bit of room to run, too.
Yeah, Brown had a receiver open, just waited a little too late to get it to him, and it will be punting situation. 4th and 10. They are on the Gilmer side of the field, so punt safe formation. 2 guys back to receive it. The punt is up, and it is a good one. Will bounce and go inside the 5, going to be downed at the 1, or well, officially at the 2-yard line. So punter does his job, and Gilmer will have 98 yards to go.
Great punt there, great way to flip the field, and that's where, if you're Gilmer, that dropping that interception is really tough because you've got really bad field position here now, and you got to be really careful in the shadow of your own end zone.
Coach Don Enos is down there, has had a bird's eye view. Hunter Watkins had that interception in his hands, just couldn't reel it in.
I'm telling you, he looked just like a receiver. I mean, it hit him right there and just went straight through his hands. And I know that's frustrating because I'm going to tell you what, that was an awesome play by Wesleyan's special teams right there to down that ball.
Coach, you are in the end zone where Isaac Rellinger is about to take the snap, and so we'll see what Gilmer does here, and there's going to be a whistle. And
offsides.
well, that will certainly help. That's a free 5 yards. It looks like they lined up in the neutral zone. Coach, we're going to give you credit for that 5 yards. Good job down there.
Right.
So it will be 1st and 5, this time from the 7-yard line. Herschel DeFore, the center. Rellinger getting ready to bark the snap count on. This is very traditional Gilmer set, what we're used to seeing, and this time it's going to be on Gilmer, so it looks like they'll back up to where we started from. And, Coach, we're going to give you credit for that one, too. False start on the Bobcats. What seems to be the confusion down there at the line of scrimmage?
Well, I tell you what, they were set, and everybody moved except the quarterback in the center, so I don't know what got off on that, but it did not look good.
Yeah. So we will see.
A lot of nerves there. You know, you're Wesleyan, you got him pinned back and love to get a jump on a snap. If you're Gilmer, you want to just get rid of the ball quickly and try to get out of that goal line. So a little bit of jumpiness there on both sides.
By the way, Coach Donna Enos down there, 68 degrees on the field for her, so not too bad. That one handed off to Brock Titus, the fullback. He'll get him a couple of yards, a little room to work with out past the 5-yard line. It'll bring up finally 2nd down.
I don't know if anybody noticed or not, but they had an offside, and then they had the motion, and they gained a yard with those 2 penalties.
Okay, we'll take it.
And a good play there for Gilmer, just trying to move the ball forward a little bit. But that's what this offense is going to do. They're going to kind of lull you to sleep, feel you out, go straight up the gut and see what you've got, and then they'll maybe do a little misdirection.
Yeah, we've used this illustration before, but this is the beginning of a prize fight. You're feeling each other out. You're throwing jabs, seeing where the weaknesses are. That time they're going to pitch it out to Kiker. He's going to have 1st down and more. So if you're Gilmer, you have to feel good about that. Your fullback was able to gain 4 yards. Your wide play was able to get you a 1st down, so now you sort of know what you're working with.
And maybe a little bit of a surprising call there, the decision. A lot of times they're going to just go fullback dive up the middle multiple times. It'd be 3rd and long before you maybe see a pitch or a handoff quarterback keeper. Like what he saw there and got rid of the ball quickly, and good heads-up running by Kiker to be aware of the boundary, too, and get to that 1st down marker.
So 1st and 10 Bobcats, still a long way to go with that beautiful punt from Wesleyan. It has to be miserable to play defense against Gilmer as you see him here with the fullback dive, because you have to be so disciplined. We were talking with the Fannin coaches the week after the Gilmer game, and they were just sort of talking about how that lack of discipline cost them. Not discipline in the way you behave, as we see a timeout taken here by Gilmer, but discipline in making sure that you are playing your man and not being fooled by that pitch. And so, when you don't play against this every week, there's a lot of preparation and a lot of mental work that goes in with the physical work.
Eye discipline, gap discipline. You've got your assignment. You start guessing. That's where Gilmer gets you. You start guessing, like, I think they're going to come at me this time. You try to jump it. Next thing, guys run past you for a 1st down, and you've got to, just be your man. Assignment football. If you're on the quarterback, you stay with the quarterback. You don't go for the ball. You just follow the quarterback. And it's hard for defenses to do that, which is why an option offense can be so attractive for offenses to run.
And for Coach Standard, they don't throw the ball a lot, but Rellinger gives you that added dimension that he's capable of it. And in his sophomore season, he's really made strides and is a good thrower.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, just 1 for 4 in the Ringo game, but we saw in the Fannin game a couple of weeks ago, when they need to throw, there's guys open and they get it to him.
Yeah, you mentioned that Ringo game, just not good. 27-0 at halftime. That ends up being the final. And really, the offense just completely stymied by Ringgold.
Yeah, good athletes, been a good program the last few seasons. They've been a playoff team and a good measuring stick for Gilmer.
So here after the timeout, it'll be 2nd down and 7. You want to try that middle again, and not a lot.
Good sportsmanship, both teams helping each other up there.
As we mentioned, decent size over there for the Wolves. Big 57 Bo Britt, junior lineman, tall guy. Third down and 5 here, so this is about where you want to be. You have the option of doing whatever you want to.
Yeah, for this option offense, certainly going to have a lot of choices here. You can, multiple options of how you keep it on the ground. If you want to throw, it's going to be there.
That is not what you want, though. That is going to be the second procedure penalty of this opening drive, and Coach Standard throws his hands up. Now it'll be 3rd and 10, which is not what you want.
No, now you're in a little bit more of a challenging situation, and I don't think he has liked the way that this group has been lining up. The play before the timeout, he was not happy before the snap with how things were lined up, and I think that preempted that timeout a little bit.
In that Ringgold game, they had 5 penalties for 45 yards, well on their way to eclipsing that here. But you talked about some of the stats. 1 for 4 through the air for 22 yards. But here's what will really upset them. 33 rushing attempts for 97, 119 total yards for the Bobcats. Not going to get it done.
No, that's tough to overcome, regardless of who you're playing. You play a good team, you're going to get beat.
So Rellinger is looking to throw. Got a man out there, Hunter Watkins. He's going to be out past the marker, and so Gilmer converts on 3rd and long.
Really beautiful pass, and like you said, when he needs to throw it, he's got good touch on the ball, finds his man, he knows where he wants to go with the ball, perfect touch to get it exactly where it needed to be. Good running downfield, blocking there, and, big chunk plays. Again, Gilmer can, whittle you down with a 1-yard, 2-yard dive, and then throw the dagger at you.
Certainly Watkins has become the go-to man for this team, both from the backfield and in the receiving core, and so good to see that for Rellinger. And also, of course, Will Kiker, Brock Titus leading this offensive charge. Be 1st down and 10, so they'll go back to what they do. It'll be a fullback dive up the middle, get you a yard or 2, and then see what you do next.
Already the 6th play of this drive here, and that's, again, we talked earlier about if there is a physical advantage that Wesleyan may have, whether it be size or speed, Gilmer can negate that a little bit because they're going to hold the ball for a long time. Already 8 minutes left here in this first quarter, ran 6 plays, about to get the 7th. You dive here, dive there, you chew a minute off the clock really quickly.
In that Fanning game, we saw Gilmer with a lot of explosive plays. Coach Standard is very happy to watch this. He would love to have a 30-play drive, and take that time off the clock as we see a counter play, and Watkins with some good yardage there. He's not interested in scoring in a hurry because he can control the flow of the game like this.
Yeah, it's all about dictating the pace, controlling the line of scrimmage a little bit, get them guessing, but then just kind of frustrates them mentally too that you've got to get the ball back. If you're Wesleyan, pressures that offense a ton when they get the ball back. If Gilmer, gets up by a couple scores, they've really got an advantage.
And so this is going to be the third down of the drive. Gilmer converted the first 2. They'll be trying to convert this one as well. In very good shape where they want to be down a distance. 3rd and 3. They're going to hand it to Titus. Ooh, nothing there. Maybe a yard. So decision time here for Coach Standard and this staff. 4th and 2. Put yourself in their shoes, Caleb. What are you doing?
I'm going to probably keep the ball. I mean, like the way your defense, got a good stop there on the last time. And at midfield here, in a game like this, you got to score points and you got to hold on to the ball. So I think if you been able to move the ball pretty well, you've moved the ball more than you've been stopped on this drive. So I like the call for going for it.
So they want to talk about it though with 4th and 2 coming up. While they do that, we'll take a break as well. 4th and 2 coming up on the other side.
Stop do-it-yourself shop. We stock everything from fasteners, electrical and plumbing parts, power tools, animal feed, and so much more. Save yourself a trip or 2 into town and come see us at Luttrell's Hardware on Highway 68 and Copper Hill next to Runway Fireworks, or give us a call at 423-548-3300.
You're guaranteed prompt, reliable service with every job when you hire the original plumber. We believe in traditional values like integrity, honesty, and hard work. We offer transparent, upfront pricing, and our techs will take the time to educate you about your options. We have years of experience handling all types of plumbing work. From tankless water heaters to digging sewer lines, we can handle all of your residential or commercial needs. The original plumber is here to help you with your plumbing, septic, and HVAC needs.
4th and 2 here for the Bobcats. Already burned 2 timeouts on this drive, so this is a critical play. We'll see if they want to put it in Rellinger's hands to throw it or if they want to let one of their backs run it. They're going to hand it to Brock Titus. Not only does he have the first down, he has busted through the defense all the way down to the 21-yard line. How about that? The fullback dive that had just been stopped for 4th and 2, and he busts a big one.
Well, he had a head of steam when he got the ball, too. He was rolling, and really good effort there. Once he got through to the second level, started to pull away from some of those defenders as well. It was a good touchdown-saving tackle there, but great yardage there after contact. And, boy, that's got to be deflating there if you're Wesleyan. You get them kind of gummed up at midfield, and you give up a 25-yard fullback dive.
So it seems like that timeout was, look, kid, the ball's in your hands. You better run somebody over for 2 yards. And he did that and more. So Gilmer now in great shape after that big play. They say he's down at the 25, so that's where they will have the ball. And Rellinger pitches it out that time, waited till the very last second to pitch it. But Rellinger really, as a sophomore, is still a young kid, he's been really successful in this system. That time, you're tasked with making a huge decision. He has the physical tools to hold it and pitch it late and the mental acuity to sort of, know when the time is to pitch.
And when you make that pitch, too, most of the time you make it knowing you're about to get hit. Yeah. So you've got to put it on the money in preparation for getting clobbered there. And so really good decision there. He's got good touch on knowing just right when to get rid of it.
And as we saw with Ronnie Sunshine Bass, not everybody can do that.
That's exactly right.
Everybody under the age of 30 is going, who? So they run a little counter. This time it's going to be Watkins spun down. That looked like it was headed for a bigger gain, but good job tackling by the defense out there. Looked like that was there. Number 25 on the tackle, Trent DeBow, a senior linebacker.
Be another 3rd and short here, picking up some nice yardage on 2nd down.
3rd down and 3 coming up. You assume that at this point everything is 4-down territory. I'd have a hard time not putting it in the hands of my fullback again after last time. And this time the quarterback going to keep it. He's got the first down. He is scampering towards the end zone, and he's going to be slammed out of bounds at the 1-yard line. DeBow with a tough hit on Rellinger. Man, Rellinger trying to get to the end zone, but he will be down there at the 2.
Good weaving through traffic there, watching his blockers, being patient, waiting for that offensive line to find who it's got to hit. And he was able to kind of cut the corner, turn on the speed, and another touchdown-saving tackle made there by the Wesleyan defense.
When he comes over, his coach, first thing he did was made sure he was all right, put his hands on him, made sure he was focused. That was a big hit. And you love it that that's the first time you've seen the quarterback keeper, so we've seen all the pieces of the option so far. 1st and goal here. Gilmer trying to cap this drive. They're going to hand it off to Brock Titus, and he is pushed back after getting down to the 1.
Now you can just sit here and eat a little bit of clock here. You can dive it a couple more times. Toolbox wide open here.
Yeah, if you go out wide with this, I think it's a sure touchdown. Everybody in the world thinks it's going to go to Titus, and that's not a bad plan either.
And that's a lot of what, we saw in the Fannin game a couple weeks ago. Gilmer kind of lulls you to sleep up the middle, gets you keyed in, and then you're able to kick it out wide for a big gain.
See how adventurous they want to be on the play call here. 2nd and goal. They're going to hand it to Watkins, and he cruises into the end zone for a Bobcat touchdown. It is a 98-yard drive on the opening possession for Gilmer, and welcome to AAA football to Wesleyan.
Yeah, great play call there, following his blockers once again, and this offensive line doing a really good job. We've bragged on the decision-making from the quarterback, but give this offensive line a lot of credit for getting the holes open, and that's a big drive there. You get a stop on Wesleyan, and then you eat away a lot of this first quarter, and now you put a little pressure on the Wolves.
And you set the tone in this game that we're planning to win this, we're planning to dominate it, and so you love that. Trying to cap it off here with the extra point. Going to be a procedure penalty there. Got going a little early. Kick was up and good.
Gilmer's third penalty of the night already.
With some bigger games coming up, they're going to have to clean that up. Connor Seam, the kicker out there, junior. So it'll be a little bit longer kick this time. Got it lined up. I'll see if they can get it snapped cleanly. Up, and it is good. So the extra point converted, and Gilmer is able to cash in on the opening drive. We're going to go down to the field to Coach Donna Enos. And Coach, that drive started right there where you are, but it ended up all the way on the other side of the field in the end zone. You've got to feel great if you're Gilmer.
I'm going to tell you what, Gilmer looked really good, just as you said, dominant. And that fourth down play, which, of course, was the key to the drive, I think it completely caught them off guard because, they just stopped it. And then it was a big hole to go through there.
And, Coach, you're down there close to the sideline. There's got to be not only joy because of the score, but you love the fact that you're able to completely do what you want to do, run some clock, long, sustained drive, and impose your will physically if you're the Bobcats.
Exactly. And, I think that y'all touched on it, but the 2 timeouts in the first quarter shows how important this game is and getting off that good start and get that first score.
So 7-0 Bobcats here. Wesleyan will try to answer. And so if you're the Wolves now, they've been in big games before. As we mentioned, Franklin Pridgeon has a state championship under his belt, and so he's got to get his squad going. They looked really good, Caleb, on those first 2 plays with that sort of wildcat formation, but Ben Brown, the young quarterback, didn't really look too comfortable.
No, gave Gilmer maybe a different look there on the wildcat the first couple of plays. Offensive line blocked it really well, but then when they went back into a more traditional offense with the quarterback, even from the shotgun, just not comfortable at all. So see if he's gotten a little bit of coaching here on the sideline, see if they've looked over some things during the break, and see if they come out with a little bit of a different attack.
So Gilmer will kick it off. Seam did a little sky kick last time, and they're going to do that again over towards the right side. It's going to be taken this time at the 22, and the Bobcats not real comfortable with covering a long kick, so they're going to give Wesleyan pretty good field position. That's going to be about the 34-yard line where they'll take over.
Yeah, can be pretty good solid field position. I started at the 24 last drive, and a little bit better this time.
While we have a second, we want to thank our first quarter sponsor, El Rey, and of course, always a great place to go and get a pregame or postgame meal. And lots of exciting things over there on the menu, a big menu full of delicious choices.
New location,
yeah,
and
that's right.
a little bit of a new look and feel to things. So,
place is always full, though. They've got all that seating, and it's
yeah.
still packed. So one of the places to be in LJ on a weekend. So they are back in that Wildcat look with number 10 back there. And how about that? Penetration in the backfield and the tackle made by the Bobcats.
Boy, great tackle there, just wrapping up, getting to your man, hat on a hat, and holding on there. And Kendall Sanders getting in there for the Bobcats, and good-looking tackle there. Good start to the drive defensively.
So Gilmer obviously does not believe that Hardy will throw it.
Must not have been too intimidated by what they saw out of him there on that first drive, that they're going to try to make just good tackles on these ball carriers.
So now if you're Wesleyan, are you comfortable with a wide receiver throwing? You've got a 4-wide look. Are you trying to spread it out so he can run it? They are going to run it. Power over towards the side. And another big stick by the Bobcat defense. Not only it looks like they're going to get a holding penalty, but Gilmer absolutely laying the wood on that tackle.
Well, and blocked well there initially. It looked like you called it, spreading him out, give him some room to run. And when he came to turn the corner on the line of scrimmage, almost looked like he bounced into one of his own guys and that slowed him up enough that a couple of Bobcats just ricocheted him into the backfield.
So another false start penalty. And it'll be second down again, so they'll back them up. And it's interesting, these procedure calls are coming in so late.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that Towns Hardy's thinking, how about calling that before I get leveled out here by a linebacker?
Going to take a lick, at least get some yardage out of it.
I believe it was Aspen Hadaway on that big hit. So now they have their quarterback back in, and he throws it. A lot of zip on that one. Definitely Brown looked more comfortable there, and that'll bring up third down and about 7. Towns Hardy has me thinking, hey, what did I do to you guys?
Mountain football, these guys are physical.
And look, the folks in LJ love this. When you and I, you went to high school here, I've quickly learned in the last 7+ years the culture. They want to grind it out. They want to control the clock. They want to be physical. They want to hit you. They want to just completely make you feel overwhelmed. And so far, the Bobcats doing a good job with that. Third down, looking for a big stop. They bring a little pressure. Pass is complete, and it will be a first down for the Wolves. Good little pitch and catch there from the quarterback to his receiver.
Gilmer brought a little bit of pressure there. It was blocked well by the offensive line and gave him just enough time to get that back coming across, and that receiver had the angle there to just get across that first down. Very mindful. You saw where he made sure he got his feet before stepping out, because that was going to be a really close play there at the marker, and it keeps his drive alive.
So it'll be a first down for Wesleyan now. Got a little bit of something going after those first 2 negative plays. If I'm not Gilmer, I don't know that I wouldn't have. Wow, great job. Tried to encourage them to leave Towns Hardy in, but Ben Brown has gotten comfortable. It looks like Wesleyan's going to have to beat Gilmer through the air. They're not allowing anything on the ground.
No, that was a good play on the ground defensively there by the Bobcats. Had the angle, didn't over-pursue. Ball carrier kind of stopped waiting for that guy to run past him, and Gilmer had it defended well, and that was all he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 10 here. No gain officially on that first play. Nice little slant pattern. That'll be good for a first down and more. Receiver still on his feet. Poor tackling that time by the Bobcats, and it'll be first and goal. Jamie Trimble, the junior receiver, able to get all the way down there, and Gilmer will really, really lament. They sort of thought he was down, and hey, how about a little dance there from Trimble?
Well, he's pretty happy with himself there, and got him on that slant and got the first down, and then a ton of extra yardage. If Gilmer at least made the tackle, he's get the first down and then some. And I think you're right. Wesleyan's going to find its success through the air here tonight.
Gilmer has been sort of content to have those 4 wide receivers, spread out. Looks like we'll see if they try to contain that. Wesleyan tries to run it, nothing doing, maybe a yard. And the coaching staff from Wesleyan is begging for a penalty flag on that tackle, but none comes.
Ball carrier a little bit slow to get up there. I think he barreled into the chain crew.
Yeah, that tackle was high. It looked like maybe a hand on the helmet, but apparently never grasped the face mask, so no penalty. It'll be second down and goal.
And again, Gilmer doing a good job defending on the ground.
So another 4-receiver look. Man comes in motion. Brown looking for his guy. Everybody's covered up. He goes towards the end zone. That one will be caught, and it will be a Wesleyan touchdown. So good job that time. The receiver, number 5, Will Tucker, able to bring it in. And Wesleyan with an impressive answer there, Caleb.
It was, trying to go, side to side and maybe outrun Gilmer a little bit, and it may tire him out eventually, but Gilmer's done a really good job maintaining, the gap and holding the edge, keeping everything in front of him for the most part. But again, a great play there. Looks like they've got him kind of bottled up. Nobody's open. He's scrambling around and then finds somebody in the end zone. That's where a little bit of that athleticism, I think, paid off.
Hey, the extra point is no good, though, so Gilmer will maintain the lead. 7-6 our score. Looks like we're in for a good one. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Since 1994, North Georgia has called on Appalachian Propane for all its propane needs. Why propane? It's extremely affordable, efficient, and most of all, clean burning. Go green and think clean with propane. Our exceptional customer service and affordable rate has made us the best choice for residential, business, and farms throughout North Georgia. So the next time you think propane, think Appalachian Propane, a division of the Thomas Oil Company since 1960. Remember, go green and think clean with Appalachian Propane.
We are back, 7-6. The score. Donna Enos was down there and could have probably caught that touchdown pass. It was right in your wheelhouse. And, Coach, really, really good job by Wesleyan after that long Bobcat drive.
It really was. And the receiver just kind of got over here in a corner by himself and just, unfortunately the defense lost him there for a second. But, they passed the ball, which I was kind of expecting to coming in. But, the Bobcats, they were tough on defense.
Yep, so a good drive there from Wesleyan, 7-6 the score. We'll see how that special teams snafu affects everything. Here's the kick. It's going to be a good one taken at about the 2-yard line. Gilmer trying to return it. Got a little bit of a lane, head of steam at least, down at about the 24. Flag comes in. Looked like it may be a personal foul on Wesleyan. What'd you see, Caleb?
I think it came from a long ways away. I'm thinking it was something there at the tackle possibly, but.
Nope, going to be blocking the back on Gilmer.
That might have been why they had such a lane.
So after the decent return, that will back the Bobcats up again. They're fine with that. They'll continue to try to run it. Listen, I've always been curious about this. The throwing of the flag, that one came from way across the field. Is that something you have to practice, or the beanbags, weighted to the point where it's an easy throw? I'm interested in that.
You got to get the right, with the arch, how much wrist is involved. I think there takes a little bit of practice. You're at home, put the stripe on.
That's right.
Got to play serious, practice for real.
So I wonder if there's like a skill competition where like the quarterback throws. Of course, very famously in the NFL, there was an incident where the lineman was hit in the eye with the flag, ended his career, it cost him his vision. I believe that was Orlando Pace that happened to. And so our officials spot on tonight, and they've had to throw a lot of flags. This already the 4th penalty on the Bobcats. So 1st and 10 Cats, they'll run that little counter play, and that has really, really been successful. So for the Bobcats tonight, we've seen the counter play, whatever the terminology is for that. You've seen fullback dive. You've seen the more traditional, if you will, option look. It's, the quarterback has the option of the pitch man. We've seen play action once. We've seen the quarterback keep it once. And so Gilmer throwing a variety of different things at you. Really, that's only a few plays, but you've got to try and guess which one they're going to do.
And with the option, too, you can tweak those plays a little bit, and they'll have very wildly different outcomes with how much yardage you may pick up. And so that's tough on a defense. You've shown them a lot of looks and what you're capable of. They got to defend everything.
So they'll throw it out wide. Will Kiker, first down and more. He is down the sidelines. There is a flag behind the play, though. A couple of flags down, so this one will probably be coming back. So Gilmer has already matched the total of penalties here in the first quarter from all of last week, and Coach Standard is not thrilled with the call.
But again, you saw for following the ball, you see how deadly this is. Fake that fullback dive. You had at least 3 guys try to crash in on that fullback.
So a lot of excitement there, but nothing doing. Got to be frustrating if you're the back and you've just run 50 yards downfield.
Tired for no reason there.
Give Will Kiker some oxygen. This should be the final play of our El Rey first quarter. It's been a good one. 2 long, sustained drives. Looks like Gilmer is going to have to burn their 3rd and final timeout of the half. The play clock was down to 2. And we're going to stay here for this timeout. So let's just say the obvious here. Gilmer, for all the preaching we do about discipline, has not been disciplined tonight. Already 5 penalties. You've burned all 3 of your timeouts, not being able to get lined up and get the play call in. And Coach Standard, on 2 different occasions this year, has said the preparation is on me. Well, if you do that, there is some mix-up in either the preparation or the execution of getting something in. They got to clean that up.
Absolutely. You mentioned 5 penalties and all 3 timeouts gone. Not out of the first quarter yet.
Yeah.
So that really could change a lot of things towards the end of the second quarter. You get in a situation where something's lined up wrong, Gilmer's going to have to learn the hard way. And so young team, there's still a lot of youngsters on this squad, year 2 for Paul Standard. Still some room to grow there, obviously, with getting these guys to play clean football and not beat yourself.
Yeah, and it has appeared that this Gilmer, especially the offensive front, has kind of had their way with Wesleyan. But, man, you keep shooting yourself in the foot, you're really going to, put yourself in an unenviable position. And here with this second down and long, you sort of done that. So, once again, should be the final play of the first quarter. Rellinger keeps it, pitches it out to Watkins, and the ball is out, and that is big trouble. Wesleyan going to pick it up, and they're going to fall down at the 1-yard line. Absolute disaster of a drive for the Bobcats, and man, Caleb, just the worst possible result.
Short of it going on into the end zone, that is the worst possible result there. And just a toughie. I mean, got a good pop on it. Ball comes flying out, and nobody's back there to get it there, and Wesleyan able to jump on it. And just, again, the poor field position because of the penalties. You're that close to the goal line, sets this thing up here on the doorstep.
Gilmer had nobody in the vicinity to even try and land on it. And big trouble now. 1st and goal inside the 1-yard line. And you can implore that Gilmer defense, but you're probably going to be facing a deficit here. Wesleyan, though, all kind of confusion about what they want to do as well. There's under 15 on the play clock here, and they're just figuring out their personnel. Looks like they're probably going to have to burn a timeout too. 7, 6, 5. Boy, if you're Gilmer, you'd love to get a delay of game right here. And they're going to get it. Nope, looks like Wesleyan noticed that and finally called the timeout. So while they talk it over, we'll step aside as well. Gilmer in trouble here, 7-6 with a 1-point lead.
Work hard. Play hard. Hit hard. Win hard. Your only connection to high school sports. Tune in Fridays at 7 p.m. to catch the action on the gridiron, only on ETC3.
And we're back here. It'll be 1st and goal for Wesleyan. Coach Donna Enos was right there where the fumble happened. Coach, what happened with Hunter Watkins?
It just got a hit on the ball, and it just came out. And it's very unfortunate because it went away from him, and Wesleyan just right there to scoop it up, and they've got it on the half-yard line. And it was just really a bad break for the Bobcats.
So we'll see. I don't know if you saw yourself, Coach. You were up on the big screen there under the Pettifield scoreboard. So,
no.
So it will be, it looks like a penalty going to be called on Wesleyan. Man, you talk about 1st and goal inside the 1. Now you've got to back up. What's going on with these procedure penalties, Caleb?
I don't know. I mean, both of these teams just you've seen so many for both teams. You almost wonder if, officials are calling it a certain way. But, I mean, both these teams have been sloppy here controlling the ball, just trying to snap the ball, have been able to do that. And that one, at least, they caught before the snap took place.
Wesleyan has looked out of sorts. That's at least their 3rd procedure penalty. And, of course, couldn't get the play in on 1st and goal. So now you've really kind of, put yourself in a weird spot. All you had to do was punch it in, and now you've got to try to figure it out. They're going to run the quarterback and be a little bit short on that play. That time it was Brown and not Hardy who ran it, though. Interesting.
Ends the first quarter, and Gilmer clinging to that 1-point lead.
So another No, I'm sorry. That's going to be the end of the first quarter. There was 1 second left on the clock. And so for about the 22nd time, we're going to step aside and go to commercial break. 7-6, a little bit of a clunky game here at LJ.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
When other dealers are hitting the brakes, Bill Hope Blue Ridge is stomping the gas with our biggest selection of the year. We've got over 400 vehicles in stock and North Georgia's biggest truck inventory. Head back to school in a new Chevrolet with our lowest payments of the year. Drive a new Chevrolet for just $199 a month. That's only $199 a month at Bill Hope. And we've never paid more for trades. And we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from us. When it comes to North Georgia's largest selection of new trucks and pre-owned vehicles, there's only one name you need to know: Bill Hope Blue Ridge.
So it'll be second down and goal from the 2-yard line. Bad turn of events if you're a fan of the guys in purple, but they have an opportunity to stop them here. You would love another one of those false start penalties if you're Gilmer. Last time they ran the quarterback up the middle. See what they do here. It's Brown back there. They're going to let him throw it up to his receiver, Trimble.
Oh,
and
man.
that is incomplete. Looked like Trimble had it and couldn't hold on.
If that would have been a catch, it would have been an unbelievable catch. He had a Bobcat draped all over him there and still able to stick that arm out and make a catch. I mean,
yeah, it looks like Hunter Watkins swatted it away there at the end. Of course, Watkins, the one with the fumble, so he has a keen interest in stopping this drive. Interesting play call there. You must feel pretty good about Trimble if you let him do it from the 2-yard line, go up and try to get it.
I agree, and especially at the 2, you feel like you're going to have some success running the ball, and instead
I don't think they feel that way. If you notice,
true.
they have been sort of shut down on the run. So in the backfield, interestingly, you've got your quarterback Brown and you've got your Wildcat quarterback Hardy. I wonder if they'll go direct snap to the back. We'll see what they do here. Still 4 wide receivers. They're going to run an option look. Gilmer says, wait a minute now. And it is going to be into the end zone for a Wesleyan touchdown. Man, insult on top of injury there, running the option for the score. And it looks like that the offense is going to stay out there, maybe go for 2.
Good-looking pitch there. Pulled the man in on the quarterback and just nobody back there to get the back, and easy couple of yards there for Wesleyan.
So they'll go for 2 to try to stretch it out. The chasing points game can be dangerous, but this time it's Brown back there. There's a bunch look with the receivers on the right side. They're going to let him throw it, and
a little bit of movement.
Surprise, surprise, another flag. Wonder if that changes your thinking now about going for 2. Looks like
he really missed the kick last time necessarily. Fell down when he got there to kick the ball and might have got partially blocked.
Yeah,
but
not a lot of confidence in the kicking game.
No.
It doesn't look like. The kickoffs have been good.
Yep.
So, the one kickoff we've seen. So this time receivers bunch to the other side. Brown will go that way, and he's got his man complete to Thomas Cook, another senior wide receiver, and it is 14-7. So Brown, after looking shaky in that first drive, took a shot right there, but able to complete it. And so now Gilmer, after the turnover, in trouble. We'll see if we can go back here and take a look at that fumble if we have it on replay, and we'll sort of see how this progressed. Gilmer had the ball doing well, tosses it over to Watkins. He had just helmet. That's Towns Hardy. Helmet right on the ball, and nothing you could really do. Will Tucker lands on top of it there at the 1-yard line, and then, of course, that led to the touchdown on the option play of all plays where Wesleyan's able to punch it in. So bad sequence of events, and if you're Gilmer, now you're in a hole.
Yeah, I mean, the worst possible thing that could happen out of that turnover there took place. You've lost the lead, gave a possession away for Wesleyan. You score. Maybe that's some of why you want to go for 2 there is you stole a possession. It's a free possession. You got the points. See if you can get 2 instead of the 1. And it paid off for them there, down up a full touchdown. And Gilmer's got its work cut out for it here. Ben has shown it can move the ball, so I don't think you panic yet.
But we mentioned earlier, Gilmer had not been playing disciplined football. 5 penalties so far, a turnover that you've lost, and within the 1 yard line. So these are the kind of mistakes that will keep a coach awake at night. But like you said, if you're Gilmer, it's still early. You still have a chance to redeem yourself. Kick is up. It's another good one taken by Will Kiker at the 1. Looking for a lane, and he's got one. No flags this time. Cuts back and is going to be dragged down at about the 47-yard line. So there's the spark that the Bobcats needed.
What a return, too. I mean, took a step into the end zone to field that kick, and he takes off and gets a full head of steam here. We saw that on the previous kick, too. He just starts running, and if he sees daylight, he's going to hit it. And if there's a body there, he's going to hit it full speed and drags old number 9 along there with him. Bear Cole getting a little ride there across the 50.
Yeah, if your name's Bear, you got to be able to tackle people like that. So, first down for the Bobcats, the first time they've been in any kind of decent field position tonight. And so we'll see if they can cash it in. Rellinger under center. He's going to pitch it out this time, and a little bit of indecision on the part of the tailback. That's Mason Smith this time. Looks like if he'd have cut it out wide, maybe he had a couple yards.
That's the one criticism I've really got of this offense here so far tonight is you've seen on 2 or 3 different occasions the tailback gets out into green space, and instead of just going full speed, start trying to dance around and find somewhere else to go. You pick a direction and just hammer down.
And it's Towns Hardy again, the junior, who makes the tackle. He's been all over the place tonight.
You see some of that size there for Wesleyan.
Yeah, maybe getting popped those couple times sort of woke him up. So it'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Bobcats. More traditional pitch play this time to Watkins, who will be holding onto the ball. A little stiff arm there, and he'll be ridden out of bounds.
Needed just a smidgen of a better block out there on the perimeter here. The Kiker there kind of dance around trying to get to his guy. If you make a clean block right there, he's maybe able to turn that corner just a little earlier and pick up a few more yards, but a good gain there and might have picked up the first down.
No, they're going to say 3rd and 1. We were sort of looking at that as the replay was going. 3rd and less than a yard. We'll see if they call Brock Titus's number or if they take a shot here. Rellinger will keep it and pitch it to Watkins. I don't think he got it. Maybe you overthink that one a little bit if you're Rellinger. And it is a read. You're reading it. Hunter Watkins upset over there. Let's see if there was a little something extra at the end. Yeah, just thrown down to the ground. That probably should have been a flag.
Yeah, right in front of the white hat, too. And heads-up play there by the coach to grab him and get him off the field. But
so they do give him the first down. Okay, I thought he was a little bit short.
Wow.
But they give him the first down.
It was a generous spot. You take it if you're Gilmer.
That's right. You'd really love to see, though, no matter what the read is, I really trust my fullback if I'm Coach Standard and Isaac Rellinger. I like to give him the ball.
Went away from the dive here.
Yeah, counterplay this time. It's Watkins again and holding on to the ball tight. Good gain on first.
Good game. We have really went away from the dive here last few plays, but that counter, really good job there. Blocked well. Just a little bit of space there for Watkins to get through, but he's able to get through.
So 9 minutes and 45 seconds left here in this second quarter, which is brought to you by our good friends at Appalachian Propane. As we've said the first few weeks of the season, we know they sell propane and propane accessories. And folks that grew up on King of the Hill love that joke. But it is the time of year where it's going to be time to give our friends at Appalachian Propane a call. Winter is coming. I don't know if that's their slogan, but it should be, right?
Should be, yeah.
Rellinger keeps it this time still on his feet all the way down to about the 21. So tough run by the sophomore quarterback. Going to put Gilmer right outside the red zone. And another timeout going to be taken by Wesleyan. So can't take them with you. And as they take that timeout on the field, we will step aside as well. 9:14 left in the second quarter. Gilmer trails by a touchdown.
ATC knows the internet is evolving, taking new twists and turns. As we add our input, make our choices, and follow the light that connects us all. It's quite a journey, one to experience with the fastest speeds available. Contact ETC, connect to the internet speed that suits your journey, and enjoy the ride.
United Country Talking Rock Realty says it best. I'm happy as long as I can see Sharp Top. From the ground up, new home to complete renovation or remodel, we have combined the amazing workmanship of SGC Groups, transforming the forgotten. Teamwork makes the dream work. For buying, selling, or flipping, call Sherry Martin at 404-375-0590 or Evelyn Calhoun at 770-733-0779.
So the Wesleyan defense wanting to talk it over after giving up that big play. And if you're Gilmer, you have to feel good. This has been another sustained drive, and they'd love to cash it in here before halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. Been a good response there from the turnover and the touchdown for the Wolves.
So it will be Brock Titus this time, and he rumbles on down to the 14-yard line.
There's that fullback dive.
Number 43 is a good-looking back.
Good size. Wesleyan's really struggled to stop him tonight.
So second down and 3 this time. They'll hand it to Titus again, and he's down to about the 8 this time.
Just good, strong, powerful runs, and those eat away at the will of the defense. Tell me, boy, he had a ton of room coming off the line. There wasn't anybody there to even put a hand on him.
I don't know if you saw that in the background or not. Rellinger took a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So Wesleyan, after what we feel like they were out physicaled on the first couple of possessions, they have stepped up and matched that physicality.
Yeah, they have, and taking shots there at the quarterback, popping these Bobcats a little bit more.
So first and goal now from the 8 for Gilmer. Little misdirection this time. Hunter Watkins powers his way down to about the 2-yard line. This Bobcat offense, what it seems like one play away from cashing in here.
And what this offense does here, long drive. This will be the 9th play of the drive.
And as you mentioned, eating away at that clock too. We're getting towards the halfway point of this quarter, and Gilmer will get the ball after halftime as well. So trying to control it. This time it'll be Watkins into the end zone for another Bobcat touchdown. Great drive again that time, especially with the answer by Gilmer.
Yeah, good response there for the Bobcats. It highlights that turnover a little bit more, how costly that was. You could have a lead here, but a tie game there, and just a good, powerful run there again by Watkins. Putting his head down, getting it through the line. Good blocking there by that offensive line. I brag on that offensive line a lot here tonight. They've really done a good job opening holes, holding their blocks, and Gilmer an extra point away from tying this game.
We talked about that fumble when we went back and looked at it. It was really the helmet right on the football.
Yeah,
so
can't do much about that.
Right, and so you have to give Watkins a little bit of a break, but it was a big turning point. But it is now back where we started from. Donna Enos is down there, and Watkins was running towards your vantage point, Coach. How about that drive from Gilmer?
Yes, he came right straight at me. Now I'm going to tell you, just jumping on what Caleb said, the offensive line is doing a great job. They're getting a lot of different looks from this defensive line and just opening those holes, and I mean, they're making it look easy.
Look, the question is, though, Coach, you were raised by a football coach. Had Watkins made it all the way to your position, were you ready to make the tackle?
Oh, absolutely. I know. Hey, I was ready just to high-five him when he got here.
That's right. That's right. So 14-14 our score now, and just once again, as you mentioned, a long, sustained drive by the Cats.
Exactly. Great answer. I mean, I don't think you could answer it much better there. You know, a little quick 2-play, 3-play drive there for Wesleyan to score. And most of Wesleyan's drives have been pretty short here. Now, longest drive of the night was 7-play touchdown drive. Here's Gilmer going 9 plays on this one and have went 14 plays prior. So, Gilmer's not panicking, and that's a good sign out of that Bobcat crew down there. You know, you give up the fumble, you give up the touchdown, you're behind, go right back to work.
We'll get you some area scores here in just a minute. Of course, everybody starting region play tonight. Feels like our game is dragging behind everybody else. Most of these other games already at halftime. That long first quarter.
All those penalties.
Another short kick taken at the 20. Will Tucker this time all the way across the field, and he's going to be dragged down at about the place where he caught the ball. So good job by the Gilmer coverage team.
Yeah, good tackle there. Wesleyan bench again wanting a flag, but good tackle there, and the ball going to be spotted or around the 20-yard line possibly. Yeah, looks like it'll be right at the 20. So, north to south is the preferred way to go there with the ball. When you start going east to west, you open up the opportunity for you to get tackled and not really get a whole lot on that kickoff return.
So other scores in the region that we may want to know about. It's Dawson County all over West Hall in the second quarter, 42-0. Surprise, surprise, another penalty. The game of interest for our viewers at halftime, Lumpkin County 21, Pickens 7. So the Dragons hanging tough in a game where they were a big underdog. Copper Basin trails Tellico Plains 20-6 in the second quarter. We don't have a fan and score as of yet. We'll try to get that for you. In a personal game of note, my high school, my alma mater, the Central High School Red Devils, playing on ESPN2 tonight.
Big deal.
So they are playing IMG Academy. Look at the Bobcats there. That's going to be a huge play, and as you mentioned, a flag. And so now completely heading in the wrong direction are the Wolves. Will be holding.
Get called for holding there.
So my Red Devils in the third quarter, they are trailing IMG Academy by one score, 34-26. And so one of those big-time games for them.
We've talked about Gilmer being sloppy with the 5 penalties. Wesleyan now with 6 penalties of its own here. So been a sloppy game from a penalty standpoint for both of these teams.
Sorry, that game's on ESPNU. We don't want you to switch and watch it, but that's where it's at. Good job defensively there. That's Trimble. He's a weapon, though. You can tell with the ball in his hands. He's certainly an athlete.
Yeah, he is. He's really one of the best athletes out there on the field for Wesleyan, if not the best. I mean, he's been a tough physical matchup here for the Bobcats tonight.
So it looks like it'll be about 3rd and 15 here. 16 officially, they say. Gilmer can get a stop right there. They're going to have plenty of time left. No timeouts, but plenty of time on the clock. Brown going to throw it. He's got a guy out there, but got turned around, threw it to the wrong shoulder, and it'll be punt time for the Wolves.
Yeah, a lot of time in the pocket there. Just gave it everything he had there, and again, open, but overthrew him a little bit. Those are the ones you want back.
Shepard Jones, the junior, the intended receiver. You can see what Wesleyan likes to do. They like to spread it out and throw it. Gilmer hanging tough.
And that's going to be the way to really probably beat Gilmer here tonight is, they've not had any success on the ground.
So Oh, fair catch called for, and the punt was muffed by Will Kiker, but he's able to fall on top of it. And listen, there's nothing in the world I would want to do less than catch punts. And as you've got to catch it with a man in your face, and that one just sort of between the wickets, but he's able to fall on it.
Yeah, good break there for the Bobcats. Great field position here for Gilmer. Still 6 minutes to go before the break. Got the opportunity to drive, eat a little clock off here.
Timeout taken down on the field. That'll be the final one for the Wolves. While they talk about it, we'll step aside for 30 seconds and be right back.
Luttrell's Hardware in Copper Hill, Tennessee is your one-stop do-it-yourself shop. We stock everything from fasteners, electrical and plumbing parts, power tools, animal feed, and so much more. Save yourself a trip or two into town and come see us at Luttrell's Hardware on Highway 68 in Copper Hill, next to Runway Fireworks. Or give us a call at 423-548-3300.
So Wesleyan takes their final timeout, and Caleb, we were talking during the break, all 6 timeouts used. I don't know that I've ever seen that in a high school game.
No, still a lot of time left here, too. I mean, Gilmer mowed through all of its there before the first quarter was over. So
certainly we've seen that in the second half. But
yes.
So I think that's probably a testament to maybe a little, I don't know, it shouldn't be rust at this point, but just a little lack of comfort, lack of discipline, whatever you want to call it, in this game that has certainly manifested itself a number of times.
And Donna hit the nail on the head earlier too. I think that's probably maybe a sign both coaches know how important this game is.
Yeah, absolutely. So Gilmer here with the ball at about midfield. They're going to pitch it. Kiker with some room and going to get a good gain. Good job blocking out there by Hunter Watkins.
Yeah, held that block as long as he possibly could there. It took a while to let this thing develop and get the ball out there for him to turn the corner.
Just another, minute to recognize Rellinger, too. The way that he is operating that and putting it in Brock Titus's belly and yanking it out, he is really reading that defense well and operating this offense with a great level of efficiency.
Yeah, he's been really impressive, making good decisions with the football, which in an option offense, you want some athleticism, you need good decision making.
He's going to keep it again. This time holds onto the ball himself. Another tough run. Tried to go low, and he stays up on his feet out past the first down marker.
Took a good little lick there. That's going to move the chains.
Continuing discussions over there between the officials and the Bobcat sideline. I'm not sure exactly what they're unhappy about, but there's something that's got them a little ruffled. Of course, no feathers for a Bobcat, so whatever.
Got the dander up a little bit there.
That's right. Pitch this time, all kind of room outside for Kiker. He's going to cut it back, and he is down towards the goal line, in for a Gilmer touchdown. Great play that time, running it wide, and the Bobcats now take the lead.
Yeah, big run there. 37 yards, and again, the key in on the dive and just good angle there. It looks like he maybe had the angle for a second, gave up on the play, maybe took a step off, and boy, you give Kiker enough of a seam to get going, and he is going to go and show you some speed, and big touchdown there for the Bobcats.
Good job again out wide by Hunter Watkins holding that block. And so that duo has been lethal tonight, and Gilmer, after that miscue with the fumble, now 2 really, really good drives to answer. Extra point is up. Extra point is good. So we'll send it down to the field to Coach Donna Enos. That play sort of came out of nowhere after some good plays on the right side. This time they take it to the left side all the way to the house.
Yeah, I tell you what, Kiker hit that hole right there, high stepped, and he was gone after that. I mean, he did a great job on that run.
Yeah, and a burst right there. I think that we've seen some off-season conditioning Coach, and you're down there in real time with them on the field. There's some bursts that we've never seen from some of these guys like Kiker and Watkins before this year.
Yeah, that's true. And I tell you what, they're starting to hit their holes better, and that's all it takes is just one little hole, and they can just, get like y'all been talking north and south, and I mean he did a great job right there.
So Gilmer operating smoothly on offense. Now the defense will look to continue. Really, it was Wesleyan that last time shooting themselves in the foot, and Gilmer will take that again.
You almost wonder if there's too much time left. That Gilmer maybe scored too quickly here. So another stop here would be fantastic because you get the ball back. You could maybe run the clock out in the quarter. You get the ball back to start at the second half. Well, Gilmer could be setting itself up for a really good second half.
Well, what we know about this final 4:30 is there will be no timeouts because they're all gone. 21-14, Bobcats with the lead and playing really well. Another short directional kick over to about the 20. This time straight ahead as Tucker runs into his own man, and he'll be taken down at the 32. Will Tucker looking for somebody to give that football to. Wesleyan, you can see the athleticism from some of these guys like Towns and Tucker and Trimble, but Gilmer just playing good football.
Yeah, I mean, Gilmer, we've talked about the undisciplined, the penalties, but from a executing the play perspective, Gilmer's really executed well tonight and has played physical football. You can see maybe, the physical advantage that Wesleyan may have, but those big boys on the line have not been able to open up running lanes for these ball carriers.
Hunter Watkins with a uniform issue, so the officials have made a liar out of me. It is an official timeout here. Coach Standard does not agree with whatever the uniform issue is. And
he's got a cut on his knee, and they're trying to get that taped up so there's no blood going.
Okay, so Coach Enos down there, there's a cut on the leg, and with that eagle eye, able to see that. And so he will have to go out and get that dealt with, and that's probably your best cover guy. So we'll see how that plays out. You've got Trimble down there now lined up against a backup, and that's where they're going to go and take a shot. And it was a good throw, but good job using the sideline as a defender that time by Mason Smith. You love the aggressiveness of Wesleyan, though. You want to put your backup in, we're going to take a shot at him, and Smith does a great job. He had some help out there as well. I believe that was Kyle Cowart also in coverage.
Well, you give him, you put a backup in, a smart offensive football, go after him immediately and see what he's got. And Gilmer defended it well, good teamwork there, and Watkins back out on the field now.
Got that kneecap covered up with some purple tape. And it's going to be out to Trimble again, and Watkins was held, and they did throw the flag a little bit late, but that play will come back. I do love the strategy, though. Get Trimble one-on-one in some space, and you can see what he can do, but just a little too aggressive by the receiver holding on to that block. There's one thing we know about this crew. They do not mind throwing that penalty flag.
No, they've been active with it tonight. 7 penalties now for Wesleyan and 5 for the Bobcats.
Score update from Gordon Central. It is Fannin 41, Gordon Central 0, which was, by the way, the predicted score line. If it stays that way, Lauren Maxwell looks like a genius. Five wide receivers in the formation here for Wesleyan. Brown going to look to pick this Bobcat defense apart. Has a good gain that time out to number 20, Grayson McCollum.
Trying to be, I wouldn't say conservative there, but you don't have to get it all in one play. But that's a good answer there to get a lot of that yardage back on second down. Sets up a really manageable third down.
3rd and 4 officially. And Gilmer would love to get Wesleyan off the field here and get the ball back one more time. over the middle, and that is going to be complete. So good conversion there by Wesleyan into the hands of Thomas Cook. And look, they've got a variety of weapons, Caleb. We've seen them throw it to probably 5 or 6 different receivers, and you know, they're comfortable doing that.
And we've seen Wesleyan take big shots in the passing game, but here, you know, just a little pitch and catch, you know, just pick up a few yards, hit the open man, let him run, and it gives you some manageable situations here, and, you know, you've converted to third down after being in a big hole.
This time everybody close to the line of scrimmage. They send man in motion, and it'll be a handoff. A good little gain there by McCollum. This team sort of reminds me a little bit of Fitzgerald, and certainly they're not at the level of Fitzgerald yet, but as far as, you know, you're just mixing and matching different pieces. We've seen 3 or 4 different tailbacks. We've seen lots of people out at receiver. We've seen 2 different guys play quarterback, and so people that can hurt you in different ways.
Good to have options, and Wesleyan has done a good job with that tonight, just mixing up who they're going to get the ball to.
By the way, we want you to stick around at halftime. Both marching bands here tonight. Wesleyan making the trip up from Peachtree Corners to be here. First down into the hands of Trimble that time, and he's going to be ridden out of bounds by a host of Bobcats.
The clock running here with
yeah, so finally it'll stop. You mentioned it was running. It finally stops with the moving of the chains. And
back running again.
Yeah, so Wesleyan with about 2 minutes left here. And got to get a little bit of a sense of urgency, you'd think.
Yeah, really taking their time, under 2 minutes now, and game clock on your screen a second or two behind the actual game clock. And Wesleyan probably needs to get moving at this point.
Gilmer doing a good job of stretching that run out.
And again, can't stop the clock.
So, a minute and 20 seconds left here, and Wesleyan with the ball at the 40-yard line. I'm not sure why the pace is so deliberate here. And they will get out of bounds that time. So, clock continuing to go now at about a minute. And actually going to be stopped there with the out-of-bounds play with 1:05 left. Good shot of the student section here as they're
full house
on their feet. Yeah, this, you know, with the success, you get big crowds. You see the Gilmer flag on the front. So, I guess Gilmer going to be called for offsides. They move it up 5 yards, and we missed that. So did Mr. Becker, so we're not the only ones.
But moves the chains here, going to be a fresh set of downs and gets you down to the 32-yard line. You got a minute left now. Really got to get moving here. I mean, you're close enough. You don't have to panic, but we've seen no sense of urgency out of this Wesleyan offense.
Confusion now. Brown does not know what the play is. That or he is taking acting classes. So he lines up. He's got all those receivers. He is flushed out of the pocket, room to run, and he's going to slide down and going to be down at about the 20. And so now we see the hurry up.
A good heads-up play there by the quarterback. Gilmer sent a little bit of pressure. Offensive line gave him just enough time. Nobody open, but he had a ton of space and took advantage of it, picking up that first down with his feet.
By the way, shout out to that Gilmer secondary. You know, they're keeping all these receivers covered, and it's going to be a sack. Wow, what a play. Kendall Sanders gets in there, and now you're in big trouble if you're Wesleyan. You're going to have to spike the ball, and an injured Bobcat player going to stop the clock. And now he says, I'm okay, and he says, well, if you're okay, why were you on the ground? As you gave them a chance to stop the clock. So that's going to be Ian Berry who comes off the field, and you got to know the situation there.
Yeah, that's That's a tough break for the Bobcats there to stop the clock with 36 seconds left.
So 2nd and long after the sack. Great job of Gilmer getting to the quarterback that time. Need your defense to hold up just for a couple more plays, and it's going to be another false start, and you can tell Ben Brown is furious.
The only upside there, they wind the clock once the injury, comes off the field. It gave Wesleyan time to kind of regroup and decide what they want to do, but then they shoot themselves in their foot with another false start.
I believe that's what the 9th or 10th penalty of this first half. And
8 on Wesleyan here.
So 2nd down and 24. Brown looking for somebody. He's flushed again. He goes towards the middle, and Gilmer is going to pick it off in the end zone. Nope. The official says incomplete. He was nowhere near it. I don't know how in the world he thought he saw that, but that's going to be an incomplete pass. But there's a flag. Looks like it's going to be holding on Wesleyan. And what else can go wrong for the Wolves?
Well, that wasn't an interception. He trapped it really quickly because he had that ball when he was rolling back up over himself.
Yeah, so the official is right. He wasn't in position, but he was right. And so now this will be 2nd and 34, I believe, after the 10-yard penalty. Chain gang getting a workout over there. So now, where they were almost in the red zone, now they're at the 49. 48.
36 yards to get a first down, which when you're out of timeouts, you're just trying to get to the boundary and stop the clock.
So 2nd and 36 officially.
Another penalty.
I think Gilmer was offsides that time. Nope. False start. So that's penalties on 3 consecutive plays.
What on earth?
2nd and 41. And with only 13 seconds left, if you're Gilmer, you just keep everything in front and get to halftime with a touchdown lead.
You're in a position now, if you get a turnover, you've backed him up so far, you'd have a shot to the end zone. I think you're happy just to get out of the half here if you're either team at this point.
And if you're Gilmer, you will get the ball back, of course, to start the second half. So a little pick play there, and Trimble gets the ball, and he is still on his feet. If you're Gilmer, you have got to make this tackle, and they do with just a couple seconds left. He is out of bounds, so that is a great play there. And should have been offensive pass interference. You could see clearly the pick over there, but
yeah,
going to be 3rd and, 3rd and 14 or 15 there.
They got a ton of that yardage back here. Just get it to your best player right there and just holding down there.
Yeah, Shepard Jones clearly interfered with that, but you don't see that called a whole lot. So they're going to go for the field goal here with 3 seconds left. If Gilmer, you're thinking about a block.
Be about a 45-yarder here.
He gets a lot of leg into it, and that is going to be wide to the left just a little bit, and that will do it for the first half of play. So some good things, some bad things, a whole lot of yellow flags, and a 7-point lead for the Bobcats. We will step aside. We'll come back, and we'll have the Luttrell's Hardware halftime show, and then we'll hear from the marching bands. We'll get you some scores, and we will get you ready for the second half of play right after this.
You're guaranteed prompt, reliable service with every job when you hire the original plumber. We believe in traditional values like integrity, honesty, and hard work. We offer transparent, upfront pricing, and our techs will take the time to educate you about your options. We have years of experience handling all types of plumbing work. From tankless water heaters to digging sewer lines, we can handle all of your residential or commercial needs. The original plumber is here to help you with your plumbing, septic, and HVAC needs.
Since 1994, North Georgia has called on Appalachian Propane for all its propane needs. Why propane? It's extremely affordable, efficient, and most of all, clean burning. Go green and think clean with propane. Our exceptional customer service and affordable rate has made us the best choice for residential, business, and farms throughout North Georgia. So the next time you think propane, think Appalachian Propane, a division of the Thomas Oil Company since 1960. Remember, go green and think clean with Appalachian Propane.
Work hard. Play hard. Hit hard. Win hard. Your only connection to high school sports. Tune in Fridays at 7 p.m. to catch the action on the gridiron, only on ETC3.
Welcome back to the Luttrell's Hardware Halftime Show. Jeremy Green with Caleb Frady and Don Enos. The Wesleyan High School Marching Band is down on the field. Planet Earth is out there. It looks interesting, and so as they introduce the band, we will clear it up. There was some confusion in the stadium. Field goal no good right before the half, and so it is 21-14, and if you're Gilmer, you have to feel good about that first half.
I think you got to be real excited there. You turn the ball over, give them an easy touchdown. You answer on 2 straight possessions to score touchdowns. Defense does a great job of holding there. You're going to get the ball to start the second half. If you're Gilmer, you got to feel really good. You score here on this opening possession, you got to feel really good at that point.
And if you're Coach Standard, you have some things to complain about, too.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get on them for the fumble. You're going to talk about the penalties, but you are in pretty good shape moving forward. And so we are going to send it right now down to the field under the direction of the drum major. It is the Wesleyan High School Marching Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 Wesleyan Marching Wolves present Blue Dot.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
When other dealers are hitting the brakes, Bill Hope Blue Ridge is stomping the gas with our biggest selection of the year. We've got over 400 vehicles in stock and North Georgia's biggest truck inventory. Head back to school in a new Chevrolet with our lowest payments of the year. Drive a new Chevrolet for just $199 a month. That's only $199 a month at Bill Hope. And we've never paid more for trades. And we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from us. When it comes to North Georgia's largest selection of new trucks and pre-owned vehicles, there's only one name you need to know: Bill Hope Blue Ridge.
ATC knows the internet is evolving, taking new twists and turns. As we add our input, make our choices, and follow the light that connects us all. It's quite a journey, one to experience with the fastest speeds available. Contact ETC, connect to the internet speed that suits your journey, and enjoy the ride.
United Country Talking Rock Realty says it best. I'm happy as long as I can see Sharp Top. From the ground up, new home to complete renovation or remodel, we have combined the amazing workmanship of SGC Groups, transforming the forgotten to the fabulous. Teamwork makes the dream work. For buying, selling, or flipping, call Sherry Martin at 404-375-0590 or Evelyn Calhoun at 770-733-0779.
Luttrell's Hardware in Copper Hill, Tennessee is your one-stop do-it-yourself shop. We stock everything from fasteners, electrical and plumbing parts, power tools, animal feed, and so much more. Save yourself a trip or two into town and come see us at Luttrell's Hardware on Highway 68 in Copper Hill, next to Runway Fireworks, or give us a call at 423-548-3300.
You're guaranteed prompt, reliable service with every job when you hire the original plumber. We believe in traditional values like integrity, honesty, and hard work. We offer transparent, upfront pricing, and our techs will take the time to educate you about your options. We have years of experience handling all types of plumbing work. From tankless water heaters to digging sewer lines, we can handle all of your residential or commercial needs. The original plumber is here to help you with your plumbing, septic, and HVAC needs.
Since 1994, North Georgia has called on Appalachian Propane for all its propane needs. Why propane? It's extremely affordable, efficient, and most of all, clean burning. Go green and think clean with propane. Our exceptional customer service and affordable rate has made us the best choice for residential, business, and farms throughout North Georgia. So the next time you think propane, think Appalachian Propane, a division of the Thomas Oil Company since 1960. Remember, go green and think clean with Appalachian Propane.
Introduce your marching band. We want to thank the Off-Road Grill for fueling the Gilmer Band during its annual Saturday practice. Visit offroadgrill.com to book your catered special event or food truck. The Gilmer Band was named grand champions at the 2021 Bowden Invitational, taking home straight superiors in every category, and was a top 10 finalist at the 2021 U.S. Band Southern States Championship in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Work hard. Play hard. Hit hard. Win hard. Your only connection to high school sports. Tune in Fridays at 7 p.m. to catch the action on the gridiron, only on ETC3.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
When other dealers are hitting the brakes, Bill Hope Blue Ridge is stomping the gas with our biggest selection of the year. We've got over 400 vehicles in stock and North Georgia's biggest truck inventory. Head back to school in a new Chevrolet with our lowest payments of the year. Drive a new Chevrolet for just $199 a month. That's only $199 a month at Bill Hope. And we've never paid more for trades. And we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from us. When it comes to North Georgia's largest selection of new trucks and pre-owned vehicles, there's only one name you need to know: Bill Hope Blue Ridge.
ATC knows the internet is evolving, taking new twists and turns. As we add our input, make our choices, and follow the light that connects us all. It's quite a journey, one to experience with the fastest speeds available. Contact ETC, connect to the internet speed that suits your journey, and enjoy the ride.
United Country Talking Rock Realty says it best. I'm happy as long as I can see Sharp Top. From the ground up, new home to complete renovation or remodel, we have combined the amazing workmanship of SGC Groups, transforming the forgotten to the fabulous. Teamwork makes the dream work. For buying, selling, or flipping, call Sherry Martin at 404-375-0590 or Evelyn Calhoun at 770-733-0779.
Luttrell's Hardware in Copper Hill, Tennessee is your one-stop do-it-yourself shop. We stock everything from fasteners, electrical and plumbing parts, power tools, animal feed, and so much more. Save yourself a trip or two into town and come see us at Luttrell's Hardware on Highway 68 in Copper Hill, next to Runway Fireworks, or give us a call at 423-548-3300.
You're guaranteed prompt, reliable service with every job when you hire the original plumber. We believe in traditional values like integrity, honesty, and hard work. We offer transparent, upfront pricing, and our techs will take the time to educate you about your options. We have years of experience handling all types of plumbing work. From tankless water heaters to digging sewer lines, we can handle all of your residential or commercial needs. The original plumber is here to help you with your plumbing, septic, and HVAC needs.
Since 1994, North Georgia has called on Appalachian Propane for all its propane needs. Why propane? It's extremely affordable, efficient, and most of all, clean burning. Go green and think clean with propane. Our exceptional customer service and affordable rate has made us the best choice for residential, business, and farms throughout North Georgia. So the next time you think propane, think Appalachian Propane, a division of the Thomas Oil Company since 1960. Remember, go green and think clean with Appalachian Propane.
Did Luttrell's Hardware halftime show, both marching bands there, and lots of fun being had in the stadium and also by our crew. So enjoying the festive atmosphere tonight. Donna Enos down there on the field too, and it will be Gilmer receiving here to start this third quarter. So Caleb, Our halftime analysis will be brief here. Gilmer with a 7-point lead, looking to add to it.
Really impressive first half by Gilmer. You clean up the penalties a little bit. I mean, Gilmer's really controlled this game outside of the fumble that Wesleyan was able to turn into a touchdown. And
so a mess here on the kick. The kicker fell down, and that thing squibbed all the way down to the 20, and Gilmer picked it up, and they're going to be out past midfield and a penalty flag behind the play. And I have no idea what that penalty could be 20 yards behind the play unless it's a personal foul, but that was a strange sequence to start the quarter.
Now, there's some guys standing out of bounds and getting pushed out of bounds, or maybe a little extracurriculars there. And I will say I find it amusing that the kicker has to drag the guy down by his jersey and then kind of stands over him for a second like he's accomplished something there.
Yeah.
It's twice that the Wesleyan kickers fell down tonight, so maybe a little bit slick out on the field. But if you're Gilmer, you have the lead, you've got this second half kickoff. You're going to have fantastic field position.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called something way behind the play, and now Gilmer, as you mentioned, in great shape. That was such a strange way to start the quarter with the kicker falling down. He kicked it 40 yards from his rear end. That's pretty impressive.
Pretty strong leg.
So a disastrous way to start if you're Wesleyan. Now your defense is in a very vulnerable position, and Gilmer's going to start out, and they've got some room here on first down. And it's getting physical out there as the tailback Watkins is thrown to the ground.
Yeah, he got tossed to the ground. I don't think Coach Standard liked that a ton. Good running, though, there, finding the seam and just kind of sliding between and picking up about 5 yards there on first down.
A little extra discussion from William Wright there, freshman linebacker. Dawson County continues to put it on West Hall 49-0. Lumpkin has added a touchdown 28-7 over the Dragons, and still 41-0 over at Fannin. The Rebels tend to call the dogs off in those blowout games, although last week it didn't matter. Murphy went on to try to score and kept calling timeouts in the final minute, and we saw Coach Cheatham have a few words with Coach Watson, actually more than a few words in the little post-game handshake, but I think all that's been worked out. Gilmer here with a third down and short. You like their chances here with 2 chances to get 2 yards.
Yeah, positive run there on second down.
It'll be a first down and a good spin move from Kiker.
A little bit more of a traditional eye look there that time. What you hated on that previous play there was ball carrier got tackled out of bounds, so stopped the clock, so Gilmer not able to eat as much time off here. But the clock rolling here with his first down.
So Gilmer, even with the short field, dragging this drive out as long as they can. Sustained is the word of the night. It will be Watkins again, and he's going to be ushered out of bounds. And he and Will Tucker with some jersey tugging there.
Just going with this counter over and over. We've already seen it a couple of times here on this drive.
So inside the red zone now are the Bobcats. As you mentioned, if they can punch it in here, Wesleyan really has an uphill climb just because Gilmer will play keep away, in this whole second half with the ball.
And Gilmer's already going to try to take its foot off the gas, not in terms of scoring, but they're going to slow the game down a ton here. You can already tell here on this opening drive.
Rellinger pitches it out to Kiker, and he had a lane, stays on his feet, and gets a positive gain. Wesleyan really having trouble playing that pitch, man. They're doubling down on Rellinger and trying to come from behind. And that time it was a good job of closing by the linebacker. That was Will Campbell, but just a better move by Kiker. Field does look slick. You can see that. People having a hard time keeping their footing.
And Gilmer may be benefiting from being a little bit more familiar with this particular turf because Bobcats have been able to keep its footing a little bit better than Wesleyan has here so far.
Cats here, 3rd down and 4. And Another timeout will be called. While the Bobcats talk it over, we're going to go down to Donna Enos, the third member of our crew on the field. Donna had a good, nice halftime break there, and here Gilmer threatening to score again.
Yeah, and I tell you what, right there at the end of the second half, Wesleyan, you can just see the frustration on their players, the body language, the frustration, that just question the officials. So, halftime came at a good time for them, but hopefully this drive is going to kind of put that frustration back on them.
Yeah, absolutely. There was, as you mentioned there, a prolonged discussion between Franklin Pridgeon and the coaching staff. Any idea what that was about?
I think about the penalties. A couple of times on those procedure calls, a couple of the players would go back and just ask the official, what they were calling and what they were doing. So I think a lot of frustration from coaches and players.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, hoping that frustration continues are the Bobcats here with this third down coming up. By the way, while we have a minute, we want to thank Bill Holt Chevrolet of Blue Ridge for bringing you this big play as well as this third quarter of action. Bill Holt been with us a long time, and we appreciate that. New location coming soon up there in Blue Ridge, a little bit south of the current location on 515. So, Caleb, what are we calling here? 3rd and 4.
Tell you what, the counter's been really effective here, but, haven't seen a fullback dive yet on this drive.
So it will be the fullback. Good job calling it. He's going to be right there at the marker. If you judge by that far official, he's going to be a little bit short. So 4th down coming, and doesn't look like the offense will be coming off the field.
Nah, 4-down territory for sure. We've seen Coach Standard go for it already tonight.
So we'll see what the call is. The defense is thinking it's going to be Titus. We'll see if they do that. Fourth down and inches. They'll hand it to Watkins. He picks up the first down on the surge, and these backs for Gilmer really, really having their way.
Yeah, good effort there. We haven't seen the quarterback keeper, a little sneak action here tonight. But sending it straight up the middle and able to pick up that first down.
Good piece of sportsmanship there between Will Campbell for Wesleyan and number 85, Charles Norman for Gilmer. So 1st and goal for the Cats at the 9-yard line. Going to be a false start called on Gilmer. So not what you want when you're 1st and goal already at the 9. Now you've got 15 yards or 14 yards to get there. By the way, that's a great shot of the new, and when we say Jumbotron, we mean Jumbotron here at Huff Mosley Memorial Stadium. Of course, the Pettit Field insignia adorning the top of that along with the Gilmer G, and that is one of the nicest things I've seen at a high school stadium ever.
Yeah, money well spent here for the school board and really making Huff Mosley Stadium a jewel in the region to play at.
Rellinger pitches it to Kiker. He finds a little seam, spins, and he's going to be down to about the 3. That play looked like it was going to be stopped short, but he's up there.
And just good effort, keeping those legs moving, spinning around.
So here we go. Gilmer with a chance to punch it in here. And the one thing that we were noticing, Caleb, look at that clock continue to run. Already 4 minutes gone by in this third period.
Yeah, this is a big drive here. Gilmer able to score. You've eaten so much time off the clock in the quarter here. You've possessed the ball for approaching half the quarter.
2nd and goal. It's Brock Titus. He stumbles all the way into the end zone. Would not be denied with the big fullback, and Gilmer into the end zone for the 4th time tonight. Oh, the light show going, the dancing going on. The folks are feeling it inside Huff Mosley.
Yeah, big touchdown run there. Well, fullback dive, not really used a ton on that drive. But the 2 times he touched the ball, big carries, pick up the 4th down conversion, and then this touchdown gives Gilmer a 2-possession lead here. A lot of pressure on this Wesleyan defense now, or offense here, coming back when they get the ball.
Extra point is up. Extra point is good. 28-14 the score. We'll step aside and see if Wesleyan can answer on their first drive of the second half.
Work hard. Play hard. Hit hard. Win hard. Your only connection to high school sports. Tune in Fridays at 7 p.m. to catch the action on the gridiron, only on ETC3.
So Gilmer with the 2-score lead now, and you have to feel good, Caleb, about that with, the way that you possess the ball. And so Gilmer, in the second half especially, executing their game plan,
a lot of maturity taking this kickoff here for the second half, running down the field and scoring, and now, get a defensive stop. You're really in control of the football game. And so I think if you're Gilmer, you're going to be really proud with the way you have played and responded off the bye week, coming off the tough loss there to Ringgold, really responding in a positive way.
Yeah, that game, it looks now to be an anomaly, just one game where you didn't play well. And certainly these confines have been friendly for Gilmer when they play at home, and we'll see if that continues. A little bit deeper kick this time, all the way to the 10, and sort of caught Will Tucker off guard, and he is going to be swarmed by that Bobcat coverage team, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at about the 20. So a little more confidence growing in the special teams unit as well.
Yeah, Jason after the ball carrier on the returns here, and showing a lot of attitude. Gilmer's got a little pep in its step and got some attitude out there. Not going to get pushed around.
Donna Enos is down there right behind that end zone. Coach, a little swagger from the guys in purple now.
Away that fumble. Think about the job the defense has done tonight. I mean, this is really, they have dominated.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can sort of see, the spring in the step, and that'll only, we would think, increase the physicality.
Yeah, they look good.
Yep, absolutely. So Wesleyan with a good first down play. That'll be out past the marker. They'll pick up a first down. So if you're Wesleyan now, it's the middle of the third quarter, but definitely a sense of urgency, down 2 scores.
Yeah, you got to kind of get moving here. And we didn't see a ton of urgency out of them there towards the end of the first half, going down trying to score, and shot themselves in the foot with penalties. Really need to be moving the ball here and be mindful of the clock. Only 7:30 left here in this third quarter. Gilmer gets the ball back another couple times. That's really going to eat up a lot of clock.
That Bobcat defense, the ball was on the ground, but I think they're going to say he was down, or maybe was able to scoop it back in, but it'll be second down and long.
You like the attitude here from the Bobcats. They're playing aggressive and playing with a lot of confidence, not, beyond the line of control, but playing hard, not intimidated. I mean, you sometimes get the feel, some of these schools come from the metro Atlanta area. Sometimes it almost kind of Gilmer, back a little bit, not sure what to think about it, but Gilmer has really owned its home field here tonight.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, you talk about the Atlanta schools that see the quarterback sort of slides down with nobody around. When you bring a coach who's had a ton of success in that, he's from Gwinnett County, they're not intimidated by that because coach has been there. He can tell us all about these guys.
Yeah, and it's a reminder that, their paths go on just like yours do.
That's right.
And if you execute your game plan and prepare well during the week, it doesn't really matter name on the front of the jersey and how big the endowment is. You're going to play really well.
Final score, Dawson County 56, West Hall 7. So Dawson now 1-0 in the region as we see pass complete there. It'll bring up third down and about medium for the Wolves. Our game lagging a little behind here because of that As we mentioned, long first quarter that we had. Of course, that game had a running clock. Fourth down coming up. It'll be a punting situation. I think I called the wrong down. My apologies. Oh, high snap, but handled well by the punter, and a good kick. Going to put Will Kiker back on his heels, and Gilmer just going to get out of the way. I want to be down at about the 25-yard line. Some more scores from around North Georgia. Bremen 37, Ridgeland 6 in the fourth quarter. Lumpkin all over the Dragons of Pickens, now 35-7. Lumpkin will go 1-0 in region play. Darlington all over Dade County, 26-7. Model leading Murray County 38-0. How about the Blue Devils from Model? Interesting score there. Tellico Plains continues to lead Copper Basin 27-6 in the fourth quarter. Fannin has put up another score. They now lead 47-0 over Gordon Central. Pepperell 21, Chattooga 0. That's always a big rivalry game as we see Hunter Watkins with a couple yards. Heritage Ringgold all over Chattanooga Prep, and a non-region contest for the Generals. And that's the scores from around our area. Here's one that's pretty interesting. North Hall, who looked to be down a little bit, leads Cherokee Bluff 14-6 in the fourth quarter.
That's interesting.
So the Bears looking to try to stick with North Hall. Valdosta playing McEachern tonight. Lowndes playing Grayson. Interesting games. How about Cedartown just dominating everybody around? They lead 43-0 over the Catamounts from Dalton. Number 1 ranked team in Class Quad A. Pitch that time from Rellinger. He is going to be swarmed. Will Kiker still on his feet, though, all the way out to the 45, 47, past midfield. Look at that run from Kiker.
Well, and opportunities there where he could have just went down and just kept the feet moving and really wanting to fight for that extra yardage. Breaking tackles here. Right there, you could go down. He just spins, keeps going. Right here, you could go down and rolls down, picks up a few more yardage, and gets the Bobcats into plus territory there. And that's just great running, great effort there.
Wesleyan was tugging at the ball, too. That's sort of a desperation attempt where you realize, hey, we got to get something going here. So Gilmer now continuing to march down the field. That time it's just a rugby scrum for about 4 yards. You can sense just watching the way this Bobcat team moves that they smell blood in the water.
Yeah, absolutely, and taking his time, getting up to the line and getting the signal in from the sideline.
Gilmer has already used one of their timeouts. They'd like to hang on to him just in case. Little counter play. Watkins got some room. He's going to go out of bounds at about the 40. That'll bring up 3rd and short this time for the Cats.
Yeah, not as much running room there with the sideline so close that time, and Gilmer continued just to work that short side of the field.
And we haven't seen him take a shot at all. You know, I think one pass attempt this whole game. So if you run play action here, you probably got anything that you want. But you're dominating your, up front. You don't know if you want to do that or not. So we'll see what Coach Standard has come up with here on 3rd and short. Just going to hand it off straight up the middle. Will Kiker has the first down and then is pushed back. I believe he's got enough, though. Yep, they will move the chains.
Yep. Good run there by Kiker.
More traditional look that time, a dive play up the middle.
And already just under 3:30 to play here in quarter number 3. So Gilmer is going to hold the ball for almost the entirety of this 3rd quarter here if they keep this drive alive.
Yeah, Wesleyan just had it once and punted it away. So ball control, the name of the game. Rellinger keeps it, and this time he is just swallowed up by that defense.
Yeah, blocking not as clean there, and eyes of the Wesleyan defenders following the ball closely there and jumping on him.
But if you're Gilmer, you're fine with that, and you've got 2nd and 9. But the more that you see the seconds ticking off of that clock, the better you feel with a 2-score advantage. But Wesleyan is explosive, so you definitely want to sort of keep your foot on the gas a little bit.
Yeah.
Control the tempo, but don't get, stale in your play calling. Don't get too conservative. By the time they pitch it out, Kiker gets it. He's going to have the first down, and that play has been there all night long.
Yeah, they have really, we saw them really going after him with the dive earlier, but that outside pitch has gotten really good here. Timed up well. Wesleyan just doesn't have an answer for it.
You continue to grind away at that clock. Now officially under 2 minutes in this Bill Holt Chevrolet at Blue Ridge third quarter. And the only thing that could disrupt your momentum, another flag.
Second penalty of the half. The 8th of the game here for the Bobcats.
So it'll be first down and 15 now after that penalty. That time a little disjointed, and Watkins just going to try to hold on to the ball. So that's really the first time, Caleb, that we've seen this offense look out of sorts in the execution of their offense.
Yeah, these last couple of plays have not been good. The quarterback keeper there only picks up a yard or so, and then that was a terrible loss there on second down, and just the pitch just was played well there by Wesleyan. Not a lot of good options there, and lucky to hold on to the football. And you get this second look at it there, and Wesleyan had it read well, and maybe you take the hit there as the quarterback and just take the loss, but trying to do something with it, you end up losing more yardage on the play.
So we'll see a pass here. They weren't happy with all the penetration there. Rellinger is going to take off, and he's got a good gain.
Yeah, gets a nice gain out of it.
We mentioned, not becoming stale or predictable in your play calling, and so just a little drop back opportunity for Rellinger. Didn't see anything there, and so he takes off with it, and you'll take that.
Yeah, it works the same as a design run there or a option keeper.
So third down and 9. We suspect maybe Rellinger will get another shot to throw it here. Or you just, try to get some of it and go for it on fourth down.
Not bad for a scramble play to get 8 yards there, so you've gotten a lot of that penalty yardage or the loss on first down back.
So he will roll out. Titus blocking for him, and he's just going to take off himself and going to be close to that first down marker. It's like maybe a yard short.
Boy.
So fourth and very, very short coming up, and you sort of wonder why he didn't throw that to Kiker, but saw the space. And
that's going to be the third quarter.
Yeah, so that'll be the end of the third quarter. I think Coach Standard wasn't thrilled with that spot, but he is thrilled with the fact that they ate up that whole third quarter. So we'll step aside and have quarter number 4 for you after this. 28-14, Bobcats.
Azteca Mexican restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
When other dealers are hitting the brakes, Bill Holt Blue Ridge is stomping the gas with our biggest selection of the year. We've got over 400 vehicles in stock and North Georgia's biggest truck inventory. Head back to school in a new Chevrolet with our lowest payments of the year. Drive a new Chevrolet for just $199 a month. That's only $199 a month at Bill Holt. And we've never paid more for trades. And we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from us. When it comes to North Georgia's largest selection of new trucks and pre-owned vehicles, there's only one name you need to know: Bill Holt Blue Ridge.
Lots to celebrate tonight for the Bobcat student section, a 28-14 lead, and threatening more here with 4th and 1. Don Anus has been down there on the field the whole time, and Coach, before we knew it, that third quarter was over.
Yeah, I've been watching Coach Standard on the sideline, and he's holding that snap until there's been a couple of snaps that's been with 1 second on the clock, and he's deliberately holding them back to get it under 10 seconds every time. So he's very aware of the clock and using that to their advantage.
Yeah, always with a game plan is Coach Standard. Here we go, 4th down and less than a yard. They've been able to pick these up all night long. This one would be soul-crushing for the Wolves. Rellinger under center, hands it to Kiker, and he is going to be right there close to the marker. If they go by the official spot there on the sideline, it will be a first down. They will indeed move the chain, so they use those tailbacks, and they've picked it up every time.
Very impressive. No flinch and no fear. You know, got the play you want there, and just run that dive and get your yard, and a good spot there for the Bobcats, and now you really start to milk this clock.
It's interesting. I was expecting more pass attempts, and I guess they felt like they haven't had to. But in some of these close region games, as we see another flag, you're going to have to be a little more diverse, I believe, in the play calling.
Yeah, and maybe it's one of those things where you don't have to, you don't feel the need, so you don't. But I know that, Coach is going to say, winning the game is the first objective, so whatever you got to do to win the game. But you're right, they've thrown only one true pass here so far tonight, 2. You get into some of those more challenging region games here, you find yourself behind. You're going to have to throw the ball.
So another step back, and, why not? No, they didn't call it that time. It's going to be a timeout call. Coach Standard frustrated. You can see it in his body language. And he's going to use his second timeout. While he does, we'll step aside for 30 seconds as well. 28-14, Gilmer with the lead.
ATC knows the internet is evolving, taking new twists and turns. As we add our input, make our choices, and follow the light that connects us all. It's quite a journey. One to experience with the fastest speeds available. Contact ETC. Connect to the internet speed that suits your journey. And enjoy the ride.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action here underway. Gilmer has held the ball for what seems like the entire second half, and they call timeout there on this first and 15 play. And while we have just a second, we want to thank the Original Plumber, our fourth quarter sponsor, one of our new sponsors this year, and we appreciate them coming on. And hey, they've got the most exciting action of the night, that fourth and final quarter, the deciding quarter, brought to you by the Original Plumber. Rellinger decides to hold on to it and is spun forward for about 4 yards. It's not a fun way to pick the yardage up, but it'll work.
Now, good little hit, but mission accomplished there. Get some positive yardage, get the clock moving again.
So Donna mentioned the deliberate pace here. And if you've ever seen the way that frozen honey moves over cold oatmeal, that is the pace that Gilmer's playing at right now. It is slow, but it's getting the job done. Passing play coming here. Got a man wide open, but missed him. They'll dump it down to Kiker, and he has a good gain, but he had 6 in the end zone there at the outset of that play.
Yeah.
He had over in the end zone, it was, I believe, one of the receivers, number 82, Bryson Daniel, and just was not out there ready to make that throw. But the dump off to Kiker picks up some yardage as well. So 3rd and 5. And so if you don't get this, Caleb, as close as you are, do you think about a field goal? That really makes it a 3-score game, or do you try to punch it in?
I don't know. I mean, you've had such good success in short yardage situations here this afternoon. I mean, maybe you do go for it.
Doesn't look like it's going to be an issue, though. Brock Titus continues to use that big body to bull forward, and it'll be 1st and goal from the 5.
This is a 14-play drive.
Yes. And this is, I guarantee you, when Coach Standard this week is going through practice, he'll show video and say, this is what I want our drives to be, minus the procedure penalty, minus the one play where there was a little bit of confusion. Grind that thing out and just completely dishearten the other team.
Yeah, that's a winning formula for these Bobcats, and really executing the game plan well here so far tonight.
Counter play will be stopped just short at about the 2. And that'll be 40 more seconds that tick off this clock, now at 9.5 in the 4th quarter. You don't see this type of football anymore, Caleb.
No.
Tomorrow we'll all turn on our TVs and we'll watch all these teams run wide open. They'll run hurry up. Even, the last holdouts like Alabama and Georgia, the most conservative traditional programs ever. They're 5 wide and running hurry up and no huddle. But what Gilmer does is the last of a dying breed, and I think we're seeing here tonight it can still be very effective.
Oh, absolutely. You talk about the evolution of offenses. I was reading an article this week about how the Detroit Lions run a more older school power running offense, and defenses don't see that anymore, and it's hard to prepare for that.
I didn't even realize Detroit still had a football team, but that's sorry, Lions fans. Sorry, Lions fans. They get their full attention on Thanksgiving Day. Detroit
right.
does. You always get to see them. So it'll be here. Another opportunity for Gilmer to punch it in on 3rd down. Rellinger going to keep it himself, and he's going to be down at the 1. So now you got a decision time. You've got what is closer than an extra point field goal attempt, or you've got 4th down. You're on the 1-yard line. If you don't get it, Wesleyan's got to go 99 yards, but they've stopped you here 3 times, so the wheel spinning for Coach Standard. I suspect we may see him running this clock all the way down and then call timeout and decide.
Yeah, a field goal definitely helps. I've been on team go for it here so far tonight just because, again, you don't get it. You've got them backed up deep. Not a lot of time to get 2 touchdowns, but this can really be a message sender to your football team here.
Yeah, it was an easy choice for Coach Standard. He sends his offense back out there. So 4th down and goal from the 1-yard line. Who wants it more? Gilmer hands it off to Will Kiker, and he is into the end zone for a Bobcat touchdown. Imposing their will are these Bobcats tonight, and it pays off with another touchdown.
A 1-yard run. And boy, Gilmer dominating Wesleyan here.
There are a lot of happy people. I know 2 guys in Bucktown that are at home smiling right now watching this, and that old school Bobcat mentality of absolutely trying to defeat you and crush your spirit, and the Cats have done that to Wesleyan here tonight. Now a point away from being 35-14. Point up. Extra point. Good. Donna Enos is down there in the end zone. She's been watching it all from field level. And, Coach, what can you say about how Gilmer has just said, you cannot stop us?
I tell you what, watching Cocker run the ball, I mean, he is just like he's got a nose for the end zone. You're not going to stop him. And so Gilmer, they're like a machine this second half.
Yeah, you love that. They've come out and scored twice. And really, Coach, you know, it's almost like that they are playing against a nameless, faceless defense. They're just doing what they do, and if they execute it, they feel like nobody can stop it.
Their execution has just gotten so much better this second half.
Yeah, the physicality has been so different. And, Coach, you're getting the bird's eye view. How's it feeling down there? We see you've got the jacket on, but it's about 60 degrees out there right now.
Hey, this is football weather. Perfect. It is great.
59 now, so 59
Close.
degrees. So, it is, as she mentioned, football weather. We appreciate Donna being with us. Caleb, appreciate you being with us. And this has been a lot of fun tonight. The evolution of this Gilmer program from
was, 2-3 seasons ago, even, back prior to that. It wasn't that long ago. This was a program that won a game in 3 years. So,
this is one of those where when we got here on a Friday night, we were thinking, well, here we go again. As you see the marching band and the student section having a good time over there. Paul Standard has got to be one of the biggest home run hires maybe of the last decade across the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
The folks in Gainesville would argue that this year they've had a pretty good hire too. They're sitting there undefeated, number 5 ranked team with Josh Niblett from Hoover, but he has really turned this program around, and this is a place to be on a Friday night as we see a tackle there at about the 30-yard line. One of the things that's just been fascinating, all of LJ is here tonight.
Yeah.
If you want to go eat at any restaurant in LJ, Friday night when Gilmer's at home, that's the time to do it.
No
because,
waits.
there's going to be some tourists here, but the entire town is here watching this, and it is a lot of fun. 2 weeks from tonight, by the way, we'll go ahead and share this with you. It's going to be homecoming, and we'll be here, and I am pumped. The Lumpkin County Indians are going to come here. Number one, there'll be a lot of purple, but number two, you will potentially be looking at, 2 teams that are jockeying for playoff position in the region. Lumpkin, a surprising team, Gilmer, a surprising team, and that's going to be a highly anticipated matchup.
Yeah, if you're Gilmer, you're playing meaningful games in October. Been a while since that's happened. So, you've got to be excited about that. And, we talked about this opening night with Fannin. It's not out of the realm of possibility for Gilmer to be fighting for that final playoff spot, especially with the way that they've played here tonight. So those games are going to be very meaningful and very important.
And, no disrespect to Lumpkin, but if there was one team in North Georgia that was struggling worse than Gilmer, it was Lumpkin. They really had a hard time, and now with Coach Heath Webb, who left Gainesville and is now at Lumpkin, they've seen a resurgence, and they're all over Pickens tonight.
Yeah, been an impressive turnaround for the Indians.
Gilmer next Friday will travel to West Hall, and that's not a winnable. You have to win that game. West Hall is struggling. The Spartans really having a hard time. You have to win that game. You're looking at 2-0 in the region with Lumpkin coming in here. Homecoming, can you imagine how raucous the atmosphere is going to be in a couple weeks?
It's going to be a great environment. Very excited about that game.
Wesleyan continuing to try to fight here in sort of this late game situation.
Shove in there at the end of the play.
Probably had to do with that little push there. Clock does stop on the incompletion. Once again, thank you to the original Plumber for bringing you this fourth quarter of action. And any fourth quarter where you can look at the Bobcats with a 3-score lead is a happy quarter for the original Plumber and for the Gilmer fans. Knocked out of bounds there. Most of the folks are sticking around too. Not a lot of people have left. They want to soak in this winning atmosphere. You talked about the 4th playoff spot. I think the Gilmer folks have higher aspirations than that. You go to West Hall and win, you beat Lumpkin, you're sitting up there at the top of the region. And Pickens down this year, certainly a winnable game. That'll be on the road, and rivalry games are always unpredictable. But you're looking at at least 3 games where you will be favored.
Yeah. Wesleyan was probably picked to be one of the better teams in this region. Gilmer has handled them pretty well here tonight. Maybe not quite as good as thought in the preseason. So from there you've got kind of the upper crust teams left after that.
And you think Dawson is the class of the region. I think that everybody across the state would do that. And so, but after that, it's really Pickens is down a little bit. Wesleyan, we don't really know what we're going to get. We think we know after what we've seen tonight. White County has a new coach. They seem to be down just a little bit. That'll be a game where you feel like Gilmer has a shot. So, you're thinking much bigger than that final playoff spot. If you get to the playoffs, that's the first time since 2014. It's a monumental accomplishment. But this is a team with big aspirations. One of the things that I was talking with Coach Standard about, too, this is a senior-laden team. When you look up and down this roster, you've got a lot of your quote-unquote star players. Will Kiker is a senior. Hunter Watkins, a senior. Brock Titus, a senior. So here in their final season, they want to be a team that's remembered. Throw and catch there. Trimble somehow hangs on to that. He was clobbered by Kiker at the end of that play, but he's able to hold on to it.
Yeah, took a good shot there, and great job to hold on to the ball. Had to slow up for it, and Kiker came sliding in.
Yeah, and by the way, I think this Wesleyan offense has a chance to be prolific. They just didn't have the ball. This is the second time we've seen them possess the ball in the second half.
Yeah.
And, if you don't have the ball, you can't score.
No, and you go such long periods without the ball and Gilmer scoring, it really changes your game plan and what you may want to do.
They can spread it out. They've got a quarterback that can throw it. You've got some weapons at receiver, but Gilmer has just held on to the ball and hasn't given them a chance whatsoever to compete in this game. I think for this Gilmer team, though, another thing, Caleb, that when it's working as it has tonight, this is a well-oiled machine.
Yep.
When it's not working, you get what you got in Ringgold, which is a fat lot of nothing.
Yep.
That's you have to be so smooth and so detailed from week to week.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to throw this offense off, and if it doesn't operate properly, you get a 1-for-4 passing night and barely 100 yards of offense.
Yeah. We see there Wesleyan able to punch it in with Trimble.
Good catch there, good execution. Finally giving the band something to play about over there.
Yeah, it'll be a long ride back to Peachtree Corners tonight, which I believe is Gwinnett County still, Peachtree Corners. You're much more familiar as we see another missed extra point with that Atlanta area than I am. 35-20, this score. Don Enos has been down there watching all this. As we've been blabbering, Coach, Wesleyan puts together a nice drive, and they're able to punch it in with their big wide receiver.
Well, I tell you what, that last touchdown right there was perfect execution because he walked into the end zone untouched, nobody within 2 or 3 yards of him. So, kudos to Wesleyan on that play. But their kicker is struggling. I mean, he's just, as he goes to kick, he's just sliding on this turf.
Yeah, and Coach, sort of weigh in, if you would, on what we were talking about. This Gilmer team, if they play the way that they played tonight, you certainly like them against West Hall. You certainly like them, against Pickens, the way that Pickens has played thus far. You feel like they can compete with White County and Lumpkin and stay in those games. And so, and you never know what you're going to get until you see Dawson. And so this Gilmer team really, as they grow and improve and evolve, they have a shot to really compete this year.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, the ball control is the key. When you can't have the ball and you can't score, you don't have an opportunity to win. So Gilmer, I think the advantage they have is their ball control.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You can have every weapon in the world, but if you don't touch it, then it doesn't matter. And so that is the strategy. That one is just kicked out of bounds. That one not executed well at all. So Gilmer will take over, and they'll have good field position, and they'll try to salt this thing away and not let Wesleyan touch it again. Band having a great time up there, dancing and having all kind of fun. Guys down there playing the quints. When there's 4 drums, you have quads. You add the one in the middle, it's quints. Using the old band lingo.
Musical knowledge.
Listen, Caleb, I wasn't going to talk about this on air, but you blew me away at halftime. So you know, I go down to the cooler that we have down there, and instead of getting a water like I should, I get a soda. And so, you know, I've been watching videos. I saw this TikTok the other day, and I was so proud of myself. And you're here. Luke's up here with us, and I said, hey, guys, guess what the oldest soda in the United States is? And without missing a breath, you say Dr. Pepper. How did you know that Dr. Pepper was invented in 1885?
I am a history person of interest with history, but my head is full of useless information.
Yeah, that was impressive. So here's the controversy though that we didn't get to talk about. If you ask the folks in the state of Michigan, it is Werner's ginger ale, which was bottled well before then, and then also the folks at Schweppes ginger ales. We see the toss there to Kiker. And somebody's mouthpiece came flying out there, but Schweppes as well. But Schweppes and Werner's not considered major sodas because, you know, unless you're a great grandmother, you're not sitting around drinking ginger ale. But Dr. Pepper been around for a long time and became well known, as we see a timeout taken at the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis we talked about. But I am truly impressed with your vast array of knowledge.
I feel good that I can talk about it for a wide variety of things, but the knowledge may be only about an inch deep. So
there you go. So soda, the history of soda is interesting. So I grew up in Columbus, Georgia. Most people know that. Well, the Alabama side of the river there in Columbus, Georgia. Columbus is steeped in soda history. Mm-hmm. Mr. Pemberton invented Coca-Cola in Columbus, Georgia. Yep. RC Cola still there, headquartered in Columbus, Georgia, and so there's a lot of history on that. And so, you know, we have to throw it down to the field in all this discussion, and we've got to ask Donna Enos, Coach, what's your favorite soda, and what do you know about it?
Well, I just want to ask you, do you know what times the doctor has ordered you to drink Dr. Pepper?
No, what time is that?
2, 4, and 6.
Okay, wow, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with Dr. Pepper any day.
Okay, there we go, the Dr. Pepper. 23 flavors put into Dr. Pepper that makes it popular. So the Bobcats here, as we mentioned, trying to salt this clock away. And so here is the question: why in the world is it called Dr. Pepper? The world may never know. But here's the piece that I shared with you that I think is so cool. The first time that you ordered a Dr. Pepper, before it became Dr. Pepper, they walked into that pharmacy at the old-fashioned soda fountain and requested to shoot a Waco. So the next time you ask your wife at home for a Dr. Pepper, say, Megan, will you please shoot me a Waco?
I'll get a shot. I don't know what it's going to be.
You don't know what could happen there when you request that. So we're getting feedback in the truck. So full disclosure here, we're talking, and in our ear we can hear the truck, and our director jumps out. This is a controversial take. This is a hot take. He says Sprite is his preferred soda. What are your opinions on Sprite?
That is a hot take.
Yeah, it's a hot take. I'm just saying, when you go to the cooler at the end of the night, the Coke is gone, the Dr. Pepper is gone, the Mountain Dews are gone. There's still plenty of Sprite.
It's time to go home.
Yeah, that's right. And lemon and lime are not the ingredient. It says lemon lime soda. I think that Sprite is probably the spiciest, most carbonated soda. So we'll give it that love. But LeBron James sponsors Sprite, so that's another plus.
Obviously, it makes you talented. It's very talented.
So Nick Boker again with the wrong take, but that's okay. So here we go, 4th and 1. Gilmer trying to put this game away. If they are able to convert this, the game's probably over. Hard count there from Isaac Rellinger. First time we've seen that tonight. And they're going to look over to the sideline to the coach to see what they want to do, and they want to call a timeout. So,
little soda break for the
yeah,
guys.
that's right. That's right. So, no soda down there on the sideline. Water, Gatorade, all those things. Gatorade, interesting history, invented by folks at the University of Florida. Thus the name Gatorade. And so, we were a Powerade family growing up. That's what we had at school, and that's what we bought at our house. But I like a good Gatorade.
Supporting the Coca-Cola products.
That's right.
Georgia company. So
you've got a Gatorade Zero sitting over there.
yeah,
so
I will admit I
hydrated.
prefer the Gatorade taste a little bit to the Powerade. But
So, a fun night here. Night full of celebration. Marching band playing a little Hey Baby. Hey Baby, would you be my girl? Very well known marching band song.
decent little crowd from Wesleyan making the drive up. That's a pretty good little ride on a Friday evening.
Especially considering the traffic situation that we had in Gilmer County today. 4th and 1. Here we go. Gilmer with a chance to put this one almost in the rearview mirror if they can convert. They hand it to Will Kiker. He is over the right side and way out into the secondary for a first down. And Gilmer with the final sort of reminder that they have been able to get whatever they want to. And who was the guy leading the way all the way out into the second level? The big fullback, Brock Titus.
Yeah, nearly breaking that thing for a touchdown. Wesleyan with the one timeout remaining in the pocket here, and not going to be enough to slow the clock down much. So
final 3+ minutes in this fourth quarter. Shout out to the Fannin Rebels. Pick up a big win tonight on the road at Gordon Central. They're 1-0 in the region.
good answer after that tough start.
You see Hunter Watkins there. Our director says in my ear they probably celebrated with a can of Sprite. I doubt that. We'll find out. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. We were talking with the folks at Fannin last week. Donna and I were there for that game. They have a very tough road to hoe in that region. You've got Haralson County, which is a tough team. You've got Rockmart, which is a top 10 ranked team. At least they were before last week. But they get all of their big games at home.
Yeah.
Fannin, Gordon Central, model some of those teams that they should have their way with. And you get Haralson and Rockmart at home the last couple of weeks to, so you have a chance at least. Fannin plays so much better at home. They feel good about their chances as well.
Such a home field advantage for the Rebels up on the mountain. That's a long way for a lot of those teams in region to drive to. I mean, you think about Rockmart. I mean, that is a heck of a way to go to come up to Blue Ridge. So one of the more interesting non-region games this season, Irwin County coming up to Rockmart to play. That is a very interesting game.
Yeah, listen, Irwin County is a single-A school, but we have seen them beat a whole bunch of people. They play football down in South Georgia, especially in Irwin County. That Irwin County-Fitzgerald game every year is a sight to behold. They always play tough. So, first down and 10 for the Bobcats. Clock continuing to run. Titus pounds it up the middle, just moving that pile forward.
And just like that already, getting down to a minute and a half left in this game, and Wesleyan going to take its final timeout.
Yeah, while they do that, let's talk about Pickens a little bit. So the Dragons, unless something has changed dramatically, fall on the road at Lumpkin tonight. They were trailing 35-7 as of a few minutes ago. So they've got to figure out where they fall in there. You like Pickens' chances against West Hall. They've got Gilmer coming to them, and as we mentioned, rivalry games, you can sort of throw the records out. You think Pickens can probably hang with Wesleyan, depending on how they're able to control the ball. And so if you're Pickens, you are looking up and down your schedule and thinking, all right, where do we fit in this playoff scenario?
It's going to be interesting. We talked earlier this afternoon. Pickens has got some talented playmakers, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. Quarterback, really good arm, really good release. Some very good speed and size at the receiver positions. Can get physical and run the ball when you need to. having watched Pickens a couple of times this year, it's hard to figure out exactly what they want to do on offense, and maybe don't always use those pieces as effectively as they could be used. So it's a team with a lot of potential. I don't know if we've really seen it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And Don Anus, you can weigh in on this. You know, when we saw Pickens up at Fannin, they were without their best weapon in Marcus Pike, and you've got Sam Stryker there who has some experience. But for Pickens, it is trying to find that identity, and you're now 0-1 in the region, but you've got Gilmer coming down there. You've got White County visiting Dragon Stadium, and so if you're Pickens, you've still got a lot to play for too.
You really do, and you've got some key injuries that are happening with some linemen and things like that. So, you know, if they can get some of these kids back that they were really counting on, I think it'll make a difference.
Certainly weapons down there. You know, we were talking about the athletes that they have. They have a lot of multi-sport athletes that play there, and so they're not going to get out-athleted by anybody in the region, I don't think, but it's just how you perform and how you execute, and as we've seen tonight, that's the name of the game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've mentioned it several times here tonight. You look at some of these athletes for Wesleyan, bigger size, pretty athletic looking. Gilmer in the victory formation. I mean, Gilmer has physically dominated this Wesleyan team, so it kind of goes to show you may have the athletes, but if you can do what you do and do it well, you know, got a good chance to win the game.
Bobcats have imposed their will tonight, and they will leave here 1-0 in the region, 4-1. As Donna mentioned at the outset, that has surpassed the win total from the last couple of seasons, and folks in purple will be dancing tonight, and so we certainly are happy for them. Stick around with us. We're in just a minute. When this clock hits zeros, we're going to take a break, then we're going to come back and have our Pink Pig post-game show and talk about this Bobcat team and where they're headed throughout the rest of the year. 35-20, the final. Stay with us. We'll be right back and wrap it up here on ETC.
United Country Talking Rock Realty says it best. I'm happy as long as I can see Sharp Top. From the ground up, new home to complete renovation or remodel, we have combined the amazing workmanship of SGC Groups, transforming the forgotten to the fabulous. Teamwork makes the dream work. For buying, selling, or flipping, call Sherry Martin at 404-375-0590 or Evelyn Calhoun at 770-733-0779.
Luttrell's Hardware in Copper Hill, Tennessee is your one-stop do-it-yourself shop. We stock everything from fasteners, electrical and plumbing parts, power tools, animal feed, and so much more. Save yourself a trip or two into town and come see us at Luttrell's Hardware on Highway 68 in Copper Hill, next to Runway Fireworks. Or give us a call at 423-548-3300.
You're guaranteed prompt, reliable service with every job when you hire the original plumber. We believe in traditional values like integrity, honesty, and hard work. We offer transparent, upfront pricing, and our techs will take the time to educate you about your options. We have years of experience handling all types of plumbing work. From tankless water heaters to digging sewer lines, we can handle all of your residential or commercial needs. The original plumber is here to help you with your plumbing, septic, and HVAC needs.
And we are back. Post-game show brought to you by our good friends at the Pink Pig. They provided dinner for us tonight, and it was delicious. Barbecue chicken sandwiches, some Brunswick stew, feeling like fall, and that hit the spot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Appreciate Pig Pig helping us out, feeding us before we get to work here tonight, and a really good game we got to watch here.
Absolutely. So we're going to go down to the field. Donna Enos is down there. She was able to sort of take it in from the field level, and there is Coach a palpable feeling of excitement, especially after a game like tonight where you dominate in all facets.
I'm telling you, they look good. And this second half, I just really enjoyed watching the play clock, watching Coach Standard help those kids control it. And, I mean, you know, they just controlled the game. And that's a good feeling as a coach, knowing you can control the game.
And you're welcome, by the way, for the good weather that was sent your way. And, and listen, standing on the field watching a great football game with 57, 58 degrees on a Friday night is hard to beat.
That's right. I feel like I paid my dues at Fannin that night.
That's right, after being out in the rain. Thank you for being with us, Coach, and we're looking forward to seeing you back here in a couple weeks.
Will do.
So, Caleb, as we get ready to put a bow on this, we were talking during the break. It was all of the backs getting into it. Kiker scored a couple times. Brock Titus punches in the end zone. Watkins as well, led by Rellinger. And so we didn't see a lot of passing. That's an area where they're going to have to continue to work. but on the ground and dominating up front, this Gilmer offense did everything you could ask them.
Go back to just, Wesleyan's got good size on the line and got some athletes. Gilmer, maybe a little undersized on the line, held its own tonight and really dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Wesleyan really only had any success moving the football offensively through the air. Gilmer shut the running game down on the Wolves and really did whatever it wanted to on the ground tonight as well. So really impressive effort here for the Bobcats, and I think you got to be really encouraged by that.
Yeah, you mentioned the defense. So when you line up 5 wide, that puts a lot of pressure on any defense to go and match up with those guys. That secondary really played well, and in special teams as well. And so Gilmer in all 3 phases really you felt like they were always in control from the outset.
Yeah, I mean, even when Gilmer fumbles, Wesleyan scores in a couple plays and ties the game, you never felt panic. They get the ball back, go right back down the field and score, get another score right before the half, and you really felt like they were in control, and then showed, to me, a lot of maturity of coming out of the locker room, getting that kickoff, going right back down the field and scoring, really taking over the football game. The one area you'd complain about be the penalties tonight. That can be addressed. The way this team is playing together, the way that they operate, the way they stay ahead of the chains offensively, there's a lot of opportunity in this region.
Yeah, and so you mentioned the things. Coach Standard certainly has a list of things he wants to complain about. I think one of them certainly will be the penalties. One of them will be communication. You're running down to the end of the play clock. We saw them have to use all their timeouts in that first quarter. And so there'll be some things that you have to complain about, but I think you feel really good, as you mentioned, at the end of the day. This Gilmer team goes on the road next week to West Hall, and we certainly wish them the best of luck. 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be right back here. A huge region game. Yep. Lumpkin County, who is sitting right now at 5-0, undefeated, makes their way here to Gilmer in what will be a huge game. It'll be homecoming. This place behind us will be full, and there'll be a lot of excitement. So we're looking forward to that. Caleb, thank you for being with us, and we will see you right here in 2 weeks as we continue our coverage right here on ETC. You're sitting there, in the 3rd spot in the playoffs. Be a long time. Now, AAA is a tough